I don't get it. Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I don't know. OBS is something to give me a new audio track, and it's never been there before. But whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
the
that's
FBI
like
listening in,
Streamlabs or
Adrian.
Yeah, the FBI called it desktop, so interesting.
whatever.
All right. Let's see. We got a bunch of news lined up. I gotta pull those. I actually played fucking video games for the first time in months. It feels like so. Well,
Hell
video
yeah.
That's
games,
kind of how I
not
feel.
not just
Yeah.
Marvel Snap and Pokemon Go.
Yeah. No, I feel that because I've been playing just like a lot of like card games on the computer, and so it feels weird to actually like have a controller in my hand or actually like focus in on playing something.
Uh,
I mean, at that point, it's just like glorified solitaire. You're just fucking clicking buttons.
Yeah.
all right. All right. Welcome to the Blue Breeze Podcast, episode number 271. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. We come to you most every week with on Tuesday on youtube.com/@BlueRubies with video game stuff to talk about. We did not last week because last week was a fucking hell week. Sounds like live is just kind of kicking a little bit of ass lately, which is unfortunate. But hopefully bouncing back a little bit. We got a lot of video game news to catch up on. So
Yeah, we do.
There's no we're gonna derail. Actually, I'm not even gonna say what I'm gonna say. Never mind.
We will always derail. That is the true motto of the podcast is we will derail.
There will be derailing.
There will be railing.
Will there?
Yeah. Of the
Interesting.
D variety.
Interesting. Specifically with that. Let's talk about this though. I know David. David was a little. I think David has a lot to say actually. So let me start with Kels first because I want David to have some breathing room there. Kels, what did you do this week?
Oh, okay. So, into my card game shit. We had our store showdown, or for one of the stores on Friday. Played like doo doo butt. So I need to tighten that up because the Saturday I'm driving down to what's called the Planetary Qualifier. It's pretty much like the lowest level of like competitive stuff that's outside of the stores. Well, I say that, but I think these are technically being held at like some of the bigger stores. It's a 128 person event, so it's gonna be like an all day thing. Winner essentially, I mean, prizing goes like top 16, something like that. But the winner essentially they get a free skip day for like the big tournament that's going to come up next year. So they get to skip all the round one play and just get to go into round two. So I've been playing a bunch of card games, tightening up for that shit, or else it's gonna be a waste of a 4 hour drive. It's
Neo
gonna
in
be
the
fun
chat
regardless.
says, "Ooh, tightening up the doo doo butt. Sounds like a zesty chat going on tonight."
Ooh
Yeah, yeah.
big old stinky poo poo. After that, not a whole lot. Been a bunch of working. Did some gaming, like we were talking about, for once that it's been a while.
It really has been. It feels like it.
Yeah.
Nice, David. What's been what you been doing?
Fucking as we kind of talked about a little bit before the podcast, I got into lifting again. And I am an old man now. And I threw out my back last night. So I
Sucks.
Bro, I like slipped a disc sleeping. So
Hey,
I, like,
really
woke
quick.
up.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I'm gonna let you say that in a second. I'm
No,
gonna
you're good.
forget. Because we're talking about old people. Shouts to Samuel T. Geek out there, his 33rd birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Hell yeah.
My birthday
Also,
was last week as
pepperoni
well.
and cheese, Chris Christopherson, speaking of old people.
True.
Yeah, let's talk about birth and death. That's fair. Kels, you had an injury sleeping.
Yeah, I like fucking pinched a nerve, slipped a disc or some shit, fucking sleeping. Fucking. I've been fucking
Where's the lie?
slinging wood.
I
Just
I hate
hog
how.
swinging in the wind.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't know how the fuck it happened. I woke up, I had like pinched a nerve, numbness down my arm. That shit fucking sucked. It was like that for like, weeks.
our bodies can like survive through hell, but God forbid we sleep wrong like for a few hours, and our body's like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
go crack your neck and you fucking break your shit or something.
You ever wonder if you might crack your neck a little bit too hard and just kill yourself?
Yeah, and then I fucking Googled it and I see like creepy pastas and shit of people doing that. It's like, God damn it. I don't need anything like making this reality for me, you know?
I see sometimes people like do it like really quick too, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. It's like you're
Yeah, that shit.
quit it.
Yeah, I do that constantly, honestly.
Just one day, just fall right over. Jesus Christ. David, you hurt yourself.
Out of this world. Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
old
you
man,
shit.
so fucked up my back.
Oh.
Other than that, been playing some of the Vidya. Been playing the Vidya. I don't know if we're doing that separate anymore still or not, but
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
all right. Other than that, fucking traveling and life and preparing for the trip in a couple weeks.
Dude,
That's about it.
Let me tell you. I feel like this, like, I want to get December. I'm gonna move out of here. This plan still is out of here. I'm a new place come January, so there may be another a few missed episodes around there. We'll see. But like right there, me and the partner cut our bills in half, both of us, which is like big help. But Lord help me, I feel like just life is like piling on some stuff. You know, like we were like a month and a half ago or two, broke the phone, $700. The podcast was not happening last week. Nothing major, but like my car battery died. Okay, whatever. Got jumped, and it was going slow. You know, like every once in a while when you know the battery's about to die, it's like that like week. It's like, ooh, it just takes an extra like half a second to start. I'm like,
yep.
I've never actually had that happen to a vehicle of mine.
Yeah, no, mine's done that, and so I'm like, all right, get it to this car shop or this car store, and they're like, yeah, battery's about dead. I'm like, cool. I get it going. We get it because it died as I was like, it died there before, when I parked, so we got jumped. I'm like, all right, let me go to a Jiffy Lube or something. Close at 6 p.m. It's 6 fucking p.m. Like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do with that?
You fucking Maine or something?
Yeah, it felt like it. Like, who the fuck closes at 6 goddamn p.m.? I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll go tomorrow. And then, sure enough, I tried to boot the car up in the morning. Nope. All right, I had to run, and I was kind of a little like sluggish that morning, so I had to haul and get a ride. I had a break that day, luckily, so I had to come back. It took an hour to get my car back on, just via a bunch of different things, which is unfortunate. Then I got quoted the fucking battery for $140. I'm like, that's not bad. Then I have that battery. Next battery is $300. I'm like, okay, whatever. I need it. I need a fucking battery. So cool. Got it. All right, whatever. Then that's Wednesday, and that night, you know, when like you just feel like that slight tingle in your throat, and you're like, oh, I think I'm getting sick. Just like the slightest thing. I'm like, that's not gonna be good. And I downed some NyQuil that night, and I was kind of all right the next day. Did a Smash tournament that day. So last Thursday I was at a Smash tournament, my first one in a hot minute. I forgot how to fight Byleth, so I got double eliminated by Byleth, 6-1 via 2 different Byleths, which is unfortunate. Or 1-6 rather. So I got to figure that out. I went 2-2, and I was fine with it. One of my esports players went to that tournament, and he like specifically requested to play me round 1. He was like, I really want to play you. I want to play my coach round 1. I want to get like sent to the loser bracket with my coach. I'm like, all right, if you really want to. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I told the guy running it, my friend, I'm like, hey, he wants to play me round 1. He's like, okay. I'm like, no, really. He's like, really? Like he wants to play you round 1. I'm like, yes. He brings him aside. You want to play him round 1? He's like, yes. All right. And then 2-0. All right. It was fun actually. He did pretty good though. He actually brought me to last stock each time, which I'm like, all right, you're getting better. Then I went to a redemption bracket, and I thought it was single elimination. I was like, cool. I was playing Corrin. I'm playing more Corrin, like I mentioned. I'm like, all right, and then I lost my first set. I'm like, I thought it was single elimination. I'm like, all right, cool. I can go home now, right? They said it's double elimination. I'm like, oh fuck. All right.
I just want a nap.
Yeah, I was like, I'm ready to go home. It's like 9 o'clock, and I've been up and down already. And it was double elimination. I'm like, all right, well, it's loser bracket. I don't like just fucking around in loser bracket. So I go and make a run all the way up to grands from losers round 1. I'm like, oh motherfucker. And I got second place, but I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so then the next day, I'm going through the day. And I down NyQuil again that night because I still have that like, oh nope, I still feel a little bit. And I go through and then like halfway through the day when I'm talking to all these kids, my voice is just like fainter and fainter. I'm like, all right, we're like running out of steam quick. And by the time the last class leaves, my voice is like gone. And I'm like, all right, I have to decorate some Halloween stuff because I'm like, all right, well, this is the last time I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna breaks. I had the energy to do half of it, and I'm like dying. I'm like, all right, I need to go home and take a fucking nap. So I go home, I lay down, and then I wake up. The partner's over. It's like, let's order a pizza and let's just watch a movie or something. So like a quiet date night. I'm like, that sounds amazing. I don't want to. I can't talk. I just want to shut the fuck up and just chill. God said no. So I wake up and and poor Tess, she's 13. Uh, she was the on Thursday morning. I think it was either Thursday morning or Friday morning. I forget. But she was like hiding and like she's super hungry in the morning, like excessively needy since being diagnosed as diabetic. She's been like really hungry. But this is the first time ever that she's been like just like not. I'm like weird. I pick her up, move her to the thing, and she's slow, but she eats. I'm like, all right, not gonna think anything about it. Whatever. Go about my day. Whatever. Then that night, fast forward, uh, she's like laying on the ground, and before my partner goes to get the pizza, she's like, "Is Tess okay?" I look, and she's kind of laying there. I'm like, "I guess so." She's been kind of like sluggish, and it's like, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't know. I guess I just got to feed her. So I get up, and as I'm getting up, I look at her. Come here. I'm talking about you. So you get up here. Uh, I as I get up, she like moves up a little bit and she goes to a new spot, but she slouches in a weird spot, like on top of a slipper, so half her body's like crumpled up, but she's still laying there, she's looking at me. I'm like, you this is weird. You were super hungry and you've not really it's been a little bit like longer past your feeding time. So I bring the food out and I go to grab her and I pick her up and her claws like come out and she just like starts falling over and has a seizure. And I'm like, I've never experienced a seizure in my entire life. I've never seen one. I know of them like in like movies, right? I've never actually like even like seen a real life one. Like,
It's
even, like,
not a pretty sight.
no, it's very much not. And to see her just start doing that, I'm like, oh shit. So my mind goes into overdrive. I was like talking like I was straight out of a nap, and again, I'm my voice is gone. Like I am like in sick mode now. You can tell. So like when you get out of a nap when you're first having that cold and you're like already hazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I had to kick out there. Luckily she was already like nearby. She was on her way back, and I call her. I'm like, hey, she's having a seizure. She's calming down right now. Just she's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna call the emergency vet and I'll let you and I'll merge you in the call and let's figure this out. I'm like, cool. I cleared some space for her, and the few minutes later, the vet's talking to me, and she's like, "Is she aware?" I'm like, and poor girl, just like super disoriented and confused. Like she just like laid down there, and she was like, "Is cat responding?" Like she's like, her ears aren't really perking, but she's like looking at me. Like I am like huddled around her, making her space because poor Juice orange cat one brain cell like just like got he freaked the fuck out for a second, like didn't know what was happening, but then like wanted to come out and come over, but he doesn't know what to do, so I like keep him away. So poor he's now getting confused and scared because I'm acting like pretty aggressive, like go.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we wrapped her up, took her to the vet, um and yeah, she was like super, and she's a big crybaby when it comes to being out and about. So, but she was like not there because she was like quiet.
Cool.
Got her to the vet. And I was like, I'm sure it's it's the blood sugar. It has to be something with that. Because I looked up like reasons why cats might have seizures, and blood sugar was one, and diabetic. I was like, yeah. So got her in there, and about like 4 hours later, so it's like we get out like at 1 a.m. But like they checked everything. They were like recommended is like 24 to 72 hour stay. They wanted like 1.5 to 3.5K, and I was like, nope, we do not have that. We have medical insurance for her at another vet though. So like, and they were understanding of course, but they're like, all right, we'll get her like whatever we can to like make sure she's stabilized. but just like call first thing in the morning and keep an eye on her. I'm like, yeah. So they got her good going, and by the time she was out, she was like back to normal and like a lot more talkative. I, she has a little boot now. There you go. You can tell on her paw that she got shaved, so she has a little UGG on now. But yeah, she got her whole vet visit on Sunday, a couple $100. So it's like, man, everything is fucking expensive lately. So that vet visit was like $300-$400. The vet on Sunday was a couple $100. I'm like, motherfucker. We have that trip coming up this month.
Yep.
We have another one coming up, and like even the partner's like she's like wiped out. I'm like, yeah. After October, we're done. Like we're chilling. Like,
Yep.
I am exhausted. She's exhausted.
Fuck holidays.
Yeah. No, well, even holidays. I mean, we're staying. She usually has a yearly trip where she goes to Spain, but she hasn't been able to do kung fu because her medical issues this year. So it's been a hell of a year. But man, and it sucked because like yeah that whole thing, and they're like, I was like, I'm not gonna talk because like I'm gonna strain my voice a lot more. But it was like at that point, every vet was like, give me her medical history. I'm like, all right. I had to strain this fucker out to high heaven. So I pushed up, and you can still hear a little bit of it kind of fainting in and out, but I just tried to shut the fuck up for Saturday and most of Sunday as much as I could. By Monday I was able to at least get through, but like excessive talking would clear me out, and today's been mostly good. I will say big shout outs. Spooky month, congratulations, we made to one of the best months of the year.
Hell yeah.
Nexpo put a video out recently. If you haven't watched it, it's Japan's Strangest Unsolved Mystery, banger video. And for Spooky Month, I like to do like an unsolved mystery. I was like, you know what? Perfect fucking timing. It's a great video. So I put that on for each of my classes. I'm like, all right, watch this. I'm gonna pause here, make your own like write notes and make your own deductions. Like solve this case with whatever details that you have. Like what's gonna happen, and then Nexpo at the end of the video kind of gives what he thinks happened. Coolest thing happened was I have one student who just shuts the fuck down when it comes to writing. Like even if it's like, all right, what happened in this short story? Like has a handful of F's, does not like English, just reading is exhausting. But when it came to that, literally like a handful written full page note, like
Oh shit.
like everything written out. And I was like, all right. And then I was asking because I was gonna throw another video on later on this month, and I'm like, anyone know what a John Doe or Jane Doe is? I mean, he's like, yeah, those are the unsolved or unidentified bodies. I'm like, so this is your shit then? Like, all right, cool. Thank you for letting me know now. So now we're gonna get you to write because we're gonna use these things to go with that, which is great. But
You're
shout
gonna be our true crime reporter here.
out to Nexpo because man saved me from talking the last 2 days, which is incredible. I used him as the example for that for English, and then for my film class, I was like, "Hey, here's a man who knows how to fucking edit." Which, by the way, for his last video, he learned Unreal Engine to make animations in his videos. So man just learned Unreal Engine on his own now for his videos. So shout outs to him. That's my week. But you know what though? I also played games. We'll talk about this in a second. David, you what you been playing? That was a loud
There you
one.
go. Yeah,
That was a good one.
I felt that.
It's a whole ass earthquake over here, dude.
Oh, did fucking Discord switch my mic to not my regular mic?
No,
So I muted my physical
No,
mic.
no.
no, we could feel it. Like just
Oh, you can feel it. I was like, oh, God.
that's how girthy it was.
No, so I played two things. One, during the downtime of Nier, I've been playing through Lost Kingdoms again. It is a comfort game for me. Almost done it. Man, it is not a long game. It is not a complex game, but it just hits a weird part of my brain that I thoroughly enjoy at all times. So excited to be almost done another playthrough of that.
Nice.
But the Nier experience has been fascinating. We're on Route B now, and seeing my partner's reaction to the little robot that you start playing as in Route B was a wonderful experience. because she was very much like, why can't the whole game just be this little guy? I'm like, I understand. She's like, see, there, because from the beginning, she's been very anti all the heinous shit that's been happening to the robots, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, we still haven't even gotten to things yet. We got to a point where Pascal is her favorite character, and she turns to me, she's like, nothing bad happens to him, right?
Wait. For Kel's sake, though.
Oh, for Cal's sake, fair, yes.
I have virgin ears.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pascal is her favorite character, and
I'm hoping they take it in as much as like so they can get a lot out of the orchestra. You know, because
that 100%.
I think we only got through Route A by the time we got to the orchestra because we just ran out of time. But now we're going in with full context. And actually, actually that should probably be the move, huh? We should just binge the anime before that. You muted yourself, I think.
No, I just was very quiet.
Yeah. That might be.
Holy fuck, the anime. Man,
I'm hearing a lot of rumblings from it. I'm like, I think I just gotta get on this.
The last 30 seconds of the final episode basically confirmed what the next Nier game is probably gonna be.
Oh fuck, it's like that crucial, huh? All right.
I forgot to mention I did watch something as well too.
Hell yeah, what'd you watch?
Well, I'd imagine you probably watched it as well. I watched that first episode of Uzumaki.
Oh no, I did
How
not
was it?
watch that yet.
It's incredible so far. I mean, it's I don't even know how to put it into words because the way that they animate it is like picturesque, like because it's. Have you seen anything about it? It's just black and white, and it's done like the manga.
It just looks like the manga, like just
yeah. It's insane. And so it is an episode, so like you're kind of like hinting towards what's happening. It's been a while since I've read it too, but I know like the overall tones and everything about it. So it's really cool to see like the creeping dread like feel.
Yes.
I think they're doing really good with it.
So I'm excited then.
Mm-hmm.
No, fucking there's been just so much shit coming out between fucking September, October.
Dude, this month is gonna be so fucking stacked, bro.
The Penguin.
No, just in general. We got fucking because my students asked me practice day, you can play the Dragon Ball game? I'm like, that's
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I was like, that's just unfortunately not on my radar right now because I got a lot of other stuff I gotta knock out, which is like, David, you said you're not playing Silent Hill, right? Was that you said? Because I think the plan was I play it, I finish it, and I pass to you in Boston. I think that was the plan, right?
If you think it's worth it, yeah. If you actually think it's
what
worth
the
play.
fuck? Hold on.
If you play through it and you're like, man, this is trash, why am I gonna bother putting the
I feel like if it was one way or the other, you would still be curious about it. If I said it was trash, I feel like you'd be like,
okay, so I plan on getting it and playing it as well. So this is our.
So Kels will mail me his copy.
No, you're handing it off physically.
Yeah, no, I think this. I feel like if I said it was trash, I feel like you'd be or trash, you'd be more like morbidly curious to why.
I mean, fair.
I don't know. We're gonna do a spoiler cast on this, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll happen in November. Anyway,
and
there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
David.
Oh yeah. No, there's been so much fucking shows to watch. I didn't go into what I have been watching. But we started up the fucking McMahon documentary there.
Ooh, yeah.
We've been going through Agatha all along. Bosberger started up again.
I've heard.
Do you think they go too light on him, or do you think that they give him his fair due?
So here's the fascinating thing. They put in an additional opening into it, and in the first opening sequence of it, they outright say, hey, look, most of the scenes that were filmed were pre the allegations that came out.
And he's still like you're all like denying that shit, which is so funny.
Oh yeah, he's still denying it. But what's even wilder is based on what we've seen so far, they still went fucking hard on him.
Nice. Okay.
It's fascinating. I'm still not done it yet. But they have Tony Atlas on there, and you know, in a weird, sick way, kudos to him for fucking being real.
Yeah.
He admits to a lot of heinous shit on there, and I'm like, ooh, ewy. But at the same time, like, you know what, fuck it. At least he's the only one owning up to all the heinous shit that's been going on during a lot of this.
Nice.
But yeah, also,
How
Shez should always be stated, fuck Hulk Hogan
how's
and his weird
Yeah, fuck that
hyperinflated
piece of
ego.
shit.
how's Agatha?
So far, it's fun. I will phrase it that way. It's definitely gonna hit harder for a certain demographic than it is for anyone else. But it's different. It's distinct. It stands out from everything else Marvel, and because of that, it's kind of a refreshing pace.
I think the girl on New Rockstar said this is the one for the girls, gays, and theys, which I love the way they say that,
100%. Yeah, no, it is gay as fuck.
which is fantastic.
So
Good
my
for them.
partner is excited. She's
the-
loving it.
It was said like ironically, but it's so funny where it's like, honestly, they could have made Thanos in love with death, and just like it would have been fine now. Like, we get it, Thanos, do your thing, dude. Aubrey Plaza. What else do you watch? You said,
Oh,
Bob's
we've
Burgers.
been Bob's Burgers.
Nice.
And then of course now we got Uzumaki's out. Fucking Dandanon starts this week. Fuck, there was like one other thing that starts this week as well that I'm just like, God, too many fucking things. We've also been watching Only Murders in the Building. There, the new season of that's out. So been watching that. Honestly, really fucking fun. I don't usually do murder mysteries, but been having a lot of fun with that one.
Deadpool
Nice.
and Wolverine came out on digital today too.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna get my hands on that soon.
Yep.
Did you play anything,
Acquire.
David?
Yeah, Kels, did you play? Yeah, I've talked about the two things I've played.
Oh, that's all watching it. Right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, Kels, what did you play this week?
Yeah, so the main thing I played is I downloaded and played through the prologue of Metaphor.
Hell yeah! Been hearing great things.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I saw you respond as someone just calling up for saying, guys, this is not Persona. You're just like, I heard what you were talking about with me the other day, and just like seeing your comment right below that was really funny.
yeah, because okay, so anyone trying to say, guys, this is not a Megaton game, this is not Persona, they're fucking lying to you because this has the skeleton and bones of Persona 5. I mean,
It's literally made by the Persona team,
right.
complete with the whole calendar system and everything.
Yeah, and there's like even more shocking, like whenever you're going through the dungeons in this game, you will literally walk up on save rooms that operate and look the exact same way, show up on the map the exact same way. And when you go in there, it's the same mechanics. You can talk to your team, you can save the game in there, you can heal everyone up, access, do all that. And it's like, this is Persona with a new paint job on it. That's fine. Like, I don't care. If you're taking the best
It's
stuff
medieval
from it,
Persona.
yeah, sure. Just the people that are saying this is not that, this is something new. They're not they're not people that you can trust because that's not what it is.
No, they're
But-
helping that copium.
Yeah, but what it is it's solid so far. It's the biggest thing that I think is crazy is this game's rated T. Whenever like the first like 15 minutes of the game goes way harder and like violence and like themes and most points of Persona, I feel like there's people getting their throat slit, there's people getting stabbed while they're sleeping, blood splat, like it's pretty brutal.
All right.
And this is just like the entry, like, okay, and the whole game, not to spoil, it's not a spoiler, like it's precedented on like there's different regions of this continent, different people come from all different parts. There's they call them so there's like elf looking people with elf ears, there's bunny girls, cat girls,
Hell yeah.
all different types of furries. But the whole central theme is like it's Persona race war is what it is. Like they're all prejudiced against each other. Like, so you know
Stop!
how
I
you
can
have,
only
like,
get so erect.
right, you know how like in Persona you have like your intelligence or like your different like things that you have to rank up to do other stuff.
Yep.
There's literally one, he won't talk to you because you're of a certain race until you get like a certain tolerance level up.
Hell yeah, I love racial profiles. Let's
yeah,
go.
it's like
David's already
and this
sold,
isn't
dude. You
rated
could stop.
M.
You could stop. David's already in.
Yeah, so it's like the theme's like crazy. It's like that high dark fantasy. I don't know. I can't wait to see. But this is fucking Persona. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Oh yeah, there's a Velvet Room. There's an Igor. I think
Hell
Jack
yeah.
Frost is literally in the game as well.
Yes, Jack
So-
Frost is in the game.
Jack Frost is a staple.
yeah, so like yeah, it could just be a mascot thing, but I mean, I don't
Somebody
know.
please fucking buy from that fucking snowman so he doesn't kill himself.
Save his life for a small donation of 50 cents per day. Yeah, no, that's been the main one that I played. I played some like I downloaded re-updated Tekken because Heihachi's coming out on the 4th, and I got to get in on that shit. I've seen Harada's been taking like not votes but like submissions of who everyone thinks set forward or the 4th character is going to be,
Yeah.
and
It's not.
I'm
It's
thinking about-
unfortunately not the Colonel.
yeah,
No, it is
I'm-
not the Colonel.
Can
I'm
you
really
imagine?
hoping it's going to be.
Oh,
Kiryu
dude.
still.
Like I had like, imagine it was like one of those Mortal Kombat packs, you know, where it's like it's all themed stuff, but it's like just Ronald McDonald, the King, and
Dude, why don't they just
Colonel.
release it as like the costumes or whatever? They could
have we
totally
not
do
had that in Fortnite?
that.
When the fuck
Yeah,
is Ronald
where
McDonald
are
and the
brand
King?
mascots?
The King is a fucking video game.
I'm surprised that's not there.
I've just shocked myself. I'm like, I've seen the fucking, I'm seeing all this this Chun-Li and Elastigirl just videos all over the internet, but just no Ronald McDonald.
Jack in the Box just fucking sniping Wendy.
Wendy twerking on him.
What
about Shrek?
Dropping that thun. Shrek's in it, I think.
Is
Shrek
he?
in Fortnite? Hold on.
I don't know.
I mean, we can power wash his swamp now.
So other
He's
than
not in
playing,
Fortnite.
he definitely needs to be.
Fuck.
So like speaking of what else I was watching, I watched Uzumaki, been watching The Penguin, but I also went and watched a movie. I went and seen, have you heard of The Substance?
I've heard of it, and
No.
everyone I've heard it has raved about it being just obscene in a good way.
Yeah, that movie's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's. Let me go see what's playing because I was actually thinking about watching that this week.
no, there's like a certain point of the movie where like it just hits the fucking gas and does not let up. It's fucking insane. And like I think it's like a little bit over 2 hours long, and
Fucking
it
hell.
does not let up. It's like doesn't feel like a long movie, but it is.
I hate that you say it's that because all the showings are like 8:40 or later.
Damn. Yep. That's a weekend.
And that might happen this weekend.
But
I
yeah,
heard really good
no,
stuff.
it's fucking insane. It's a body horror movie, so if you're squeamish, probably don't watch it. But also, you need to watch it because it it deserves it. It's Demi Moore kills it. What's her name? Margaret Qualley or whatever. Fucking insane. Dennis Quaid is in it and like steals the show. Okay, so whenever you watch the movie, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, the Foley artist was the first person credited.
Huh.
That and let that just lay the scene for you of like a body horror movie, and the Foley artist is who's first credited.
Okay.
The Foley artist is the person that, for anyone out there that doesn't know, they go in and record the sound effects like over to make it juicier, pretty much.
Yeah, when you hear a head snap, they're like, "Oh, there's crushing the watermelons and shit."
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I'll do it this weekend.
Yeah, and I feel like movies like that really need to be supported because have you seen like I guess Beetlejuice is coming out like next week on digital. Deadpool Wolverine just came out on digital.
Oh, I watched Beetlejuice.
yeah,
I didn't.
Has everyone now seen that?
I have not, but I mean it's
Damn.
not a movie you can really spoil, right?
Just to touch on that real quick because it's been a little bit. I understand the pacing, not necessarily the pacing. I think just how many subplots there were in there, where it felt
The
like
sequel?
they had like an extra 2 or 3 things they didn't need to add that they could have just saved and made a whole thing. Where it's like, oh look, this whole thing's gonna happen, then they're like, all right, that's done, move on. And I was like, huh, interesting, cool.
I feel
Uh,
like that's kind of a Tim Burton thing, though, right? Like he kind of does that a lot. Like he'll introduce something just for it to like fall into a vat of acid.
I would probably not have enough Tim Burton knowledge to know off the top of my head. That's a thing he does or not.
It's been a hot second since I watched anything modern of his because I start to really dislike a lot of his work over time.
Oh yeah, a lot of his work is like going back to doo doo poopy butt butt. But a lot of it's like Dumbo. Dumbo's not good, and that was Tim Burton. That's a very recent one I can think of. But a lot of his work is like quirky in that way, where it's kind of like irreverent to like the material itself in a weird way. Like I feel like Wes Anderson does it good, and then Tim Burton's like the opposite direction.
I can see that.
Like, very dark and very not very. I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird to me.
Well, no.
I can see it.
A little cringe.
Yeah,
Well,
very much.
I associate Wes Anderson with like pastels.
exactly. And I feel like Tim Burton's kind of like the inverse. It's kind of like that quirky humor on the
Like Crayon.
on the opposite end. Sure.
You know what? Speaking
Very
of
dark.
cringe directors, shout out to Francis Ford Coppola with your new movie bombing so fucking hard.
That dude sold his wine business for that. Can you believe that?
What
Unfortunate.
a cuck. Couldn't happen to a shittier person. Get fucked.
Did you guys happen to see? I don't know why. I mean, David probably the only one to see this if he did. A Arcade One Up is doing a claw machine.
Really?
Yeah, and they have 3 modes: easy, medium, and scam.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie, that would actually be kind of neat to have one.
I've always wanted like I'm talking like probably 7th grade me is like always just wanted a claw machine of my own. I'm just gonna I'll look at that. I'm just gonna wait to see reviews on see how the quality of it is, just because claw machines I want them to be bigger, and that was obviously an Arcade One Up size, you know. But it comes with that. It comes with like its own ball, so you can put stuff in it, or you can put your own stuff in it, obviously. But
I wish it wasn't $500. Jesus Christ.
well, I mean that's every Arcade One Up. Like I'd be shocked if it was. I'm actually not. I'm actually shocked it's like not.
They
600.
used to be like a fucking 200,
No,
250.
no. Those are on sale. Those were on deep discounts.
No, those used to release at that.
Yeah, like at the very first like year or two. By the time we started buying in, they were definitely at that price.
Fucking hell.
Bro, you bought your how much was your Marvel vs. Capcom one again?
500.
I think it was 600.
Oh, it may have been 600 actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when we weren't ever expecting to get the Capcom fighting game collection for Marvel, and here we are.
Does that make you regret that a little bit? Because I wouldn't.
I mean, on one hand, yeah, because I could have used that $600 for something else. On the other hand, no, because I do still use it from time to
It
time.
still looks good. Like I don't know. I think those are still a hell of a set piece, right? Like you can spend that much money on like on a few games on the shelf, David, but like that's a whole ass set piece, you know. Anyway, back to video games or stuff before we derailed on movies.
Yeah, whatever.
So he told you we'll derail.
Yeah, no, that's all for me though. That's all you know. What'd you do? What'd you play?
Well, we forgot one. We kind of mentioned we played a little bit of Fortnite.
That's true. Forgot all about that. We were poo-pooing on people.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I guess you could say that.
Hey, I got some kills.
Yeah. Well, we did really good that one round. Like I was sure we might have had that win right there, but I think we just got overwhelmed last second by like 2 different teams, which is unfortunate.
Yep.
I forget, and like I mentioned, is that every Fortnite season is like drastically different in a way where it's like there's this new mechanic that just throws everyone off right away. And like me, I just kept forgetting that this is a season of superheroes. So I whenever I'm getting shot, I'm like, where the fuck am I getting shot at? Oh, it's up in the sky. I'm getting shot from fucking Iron Man in the sky right now. But my God, though, you know what though? When you pick up those items, though, those items are fun as fuck.
Yes, they are.
We're super late on this. Like we're half a season late on this, but holy shit, those are fun. So we were playing a little bit of Rumble, but we played a couple of battle royale ones. I don't know. I don't really fuck with the Rumble one too much. I think it's all right. I think I'm just not used to that. I can't put my brain in that mode yet, just because I'm like, it's never been that yet. So maybe in time, but battle royale has been pretty fun. Just because I like the idea of how just cause I just feel like a fucking predator at times, dude. You're just like coming in on just people. You're like, all right, There's that motherfucker. Get rid of him right now. Let's go. Oh, look, there you go too. If I just came in to say hi, I won't be able to watch because I feel like shit. We'll watch the rest when I feel better. Feel better, man. We're not far because holy shit, this has been a hell of a week, I guess. Anyway, um, I got my bye bye dance. That's the only reason I really want to hop in right away. So I got my instinct dance. We're going with it. Yeah, how'd you feel with the stuff you liked playing with the cap shield a lot?
Yeah, no, it's fucking stupid fun.
My favorite moment was you trying out the Iron Man thrusters. That was like the most cartoon moment I've ever seen in my entire life.
It literally was like you put them on, then you start spiraling around.
Yeah, I hear Kells go, huh, how do you use this? I'm looking at his avatar, and I swear it was like at the fucking movie where it's like Kells goes, I wonder how this works. Oh, and I see his character fly up and just shoot off somewhere, just flying. that was good. All right, this is gonna come out of a left field thing, but I actually knocked out a juicy sized chunk of a Games Gone By game, David.
Oh,
I don't know why. I just had this really insane craving to knock out Ace Attorney.
Hell yeah!
So I skipped past the first one because I played the first turn about 14,000 times. Do not need to do that again. So I knocked out turnabout 2 and 3. I'm halfway through 4 right now. I love Ace Attorney. I love how everything's like interconnected. I like how there's like a story going on along with the case as you go through it. I will say that my only complaint with the first one so far, at least, and this was my complaint when I first played the game, was that the logic jump just very very rarely, which is why it's not really a big complaint, but is every once in a while, is that logic jump as to like, hey, you should present this, but your brain jumps above it and you're like, no, I know what happened, so there's a case in the fourth one where like I feel like the game gave you too many details as to what happened, and my brain's like presenting like, I want to present this because this counteracts that detail, but it's like, no, we're not talking about that detail. It's like we're talking about this detail. And I'm pretty sure it was the same part that because I played this game like a decade ago, I think. And I'm pretty sure it was the same exact one too, because I remember I don't really fail those games too much. I mean, like it is pretty fair, and like how it's like, yeah, you can't really fuck around too much. Like you will lose. But I've only lost a couple times ever in the series, so the first trilogy, I should say. But yeah, I lost twice because I was like, what the fuck? It's like, this is the detail, right? And I looked at the walkthrough. It's like, no, it was a whole other detail they wanted me to look at. And I'm like, oh, then yeah. And I had to look it up because it took. And when I lost, it took about 10 minutes of mashing A and then doing a court proceeding and mashing A. I'm like, I'll do another for a third time. Just whatever. What's the detail? But with that said, characters are great. I love the dialogue. Ace Attorney is awesome. If you haven't played Ace Attorney, please go try it. It's super fun.
Phenomenal series.
Yeah. But we will do that. So David, if you and Cal's obviously, if you guys fill in the market for Ace Attorney, I will have put that under my my done list probably here soon because I've been on a good roll, and I'll probably, once the podcast ends, I'll probably try to wrap up Case 4.
Nice. It's a series I've been wanting to get back into because I played back whenever I was big DS kid back in the day. Played it then. Don't think I quite understood it to the extent that I'd enjoy it how I would nowadays. I played quite a bit of Atlas games now, looking back on the DS. Like that Trauma Center, or was it Trauma Center?
Trauma Center.
Yeah, played that a lot. I think I played. Was Ace Attorney on the Wii as well? I feel like I played that in college.
It was.
Yes, it had a WiiWare release.
You had like raised the Wii remote to object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely one I need to get back to because I feel like I get a whole lot more out of it now.
Yeah, I not necessarily just the age thing, but I think going and
Well, there's a lot of games I feel like I played at too young of an age and like really couldn't give it the appreciation that it probably deserves. And for example, I feel like Silent Hill 2 is going to be one of those games because I played it really young and I feel like it was one of those games where like, okay. And I feel like now
Have you never
playing
wait?
it,
Have you played? You haven't played the OG one since you were young?
I tried to, I didn't, okay. I played through part of it back in college and then I just didn't get around to finishing it. I think shit just came up. So yeah, it's gonna be like almost a fresh run for me this time. I still remember like certain story beats, like who the story revolves around, who's in the story.
If
Blah,
we
blah,
were
blah.
if we were doing this thing a year ago, I probably would have like really encouraged you to play through the original. Just because
I kind of was thinking about it, but at the same time, I just kind of want to go into this fresh, just due to the fact
mean,
I
you
kind of
can-
want to see like how the
no,
experience is.
I think, and you know what, David, I think that that's gonna be a really good perspective to have on that too.
Fair.
Is
Kind
this
of like you with Final Fantasy VII remake.
yeah, just have a really like
Yeah, there you go.
blank canvas on like, well, this is what really stands out in this because roasting the glasses sometimes for sure.
Yeah, and I think one of the things was like whenever I tried to replay it, I was like, yeah, I'm just not having fun doing this.
Which is
'Cause I think
which
it
is
was
the best part.
right, and I think it was just one of those things like I don't have to do this. I'm not having fun. Like because whenever I go back to replay a game, it's like, am I having fun with it? If I'm not having fun with it, there's no there's no point. Or for me at least.
Yeah. But I mean, that's my favorite like hype up thing. It's like I love how much I just hate the fucking game at times. I'm like, this immerses me though.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, I was doing that. Was I doing anything else on there? Nope, just Ace Attorney, which has been great. I didn't get anything. So while you guys talk about your stuff, I'm gonna go feed the cats.
Cool.
Hell yeah. All right. I will go first then. I got a small haul. Because as mentioned before, I'm slowing down on the collecting a little bit for right now. So for the things that I got that are video game related, because I got interesting thing not video game related. The very first Yu-Gi-Oh game ever released, the Capsule Monsters on PlayStation 1,
Nice.
back when they were still trying to figure out what the fuck do we do with this franchise. I don't know, make shit up. There we have that. I got this, the Mew little mini game collection for when they did the Poke-ROMs back in the day. I feel bad about this. I paid a few bucks for this originally, but it never showed up after a month in shipping. And I reached out to the seller. I'm like, hey, look at the shipping history here. And it just showed it as being delayed for a month solid in like his hometown. And I'm like, can you like work something out with them to like actually get that sent? He's like, yeah, I'll look into it. And he's like, yeah, they told me they don't have it. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean they don't have it? He's like, I don't know, let's go talk to them. They don't have it, so I guess I'll refund you. And then like a couple days ago, it arrived in the mail randomly. So whoops, got that for free. And then we got the English release of the very first Taiko Drum Master.
Fuck yeah. I love that game in arcades.
Fucking fantastic series. Then I got these because I always have to keep up with having a complete Evercade collection. So we got the Thalamus collection for PC games. And then who needs limited run to give us the Tomb Raider collection when we can get it on a cartridge-based system like the Evercade?
Hell yeah.
And then lastly, for shit I got, so I backed a Kickstarter about 4 years ago now for an anime. And it was to do a modern re-release of the Dirty Pair franchise. And that has had a lot of turmoil, a lot of strife, a lot of things go awry, especially considering it was being done by Right Stuff originally, who got bought out by Crunchyroll, who got bought out by Sony. So there's been a long line of shenanigans that have gone forward with it. But kudos to the team. They at least went ahead and sent out some of the stuff that they had done. So we're still waiting on the actual anime series, and we're waiting on the art book. But they at least went ahead and sent over the other physical goodies. So we got some magnets. We got some shot glasses.
Oh,
We got one of my favorite things that are so fucking useless, which is art cards. I hate art cards so much because what the fuck do you do with them?
right.
I have like 100 of these from various collector's editions, and they sit in one giant pile because I'm not gonna get little frames for all these fucking art cards and just have a single wall that's just fucking billions of goddamn little art cards. No, just put it all in a fucking art book proper. And then lastly, was this fun little as I blind myself with it. So the last goodie was from Otaku Lamps, which is to have one of the characters done as an otaku lamp.
Oh, nice.
So if anyone was ever curious, how is Otaku Lamps as a company? Because I certainly see ads for them periodically all the time. I don't know if it's better or worse to get it closer to the camera. Just turn it on. Let's not look directly at it. There we go. The quality is actually really decent.
Yeah.
But my partner laughed when it arrived because she's like, "Oh, that's how much do those usually go for?" I'm like, "Oh, these sell usually for like 50, $60." And she cringed at that because she's like, I can make those for like nothing. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yep. That's the markup.
Yeah. But yeah, so finally have at least all except for the art book and the physical goodies for the Dirty Pair. And now we just need to have the art book and the actual fucking anime that I fucking kickstarted to fucking see. Because that was definitely one of my guilty pleasures in my teenage years was Dirty Pair Flash. And that is all the neat shit that I got. Real quick, speaking of neat shit though, and it's just to help kill more time because I suspect it's gonna take Adrian a bit. Shout outs to one on the Humble Monthly. We have Persona 5 Strikers in there, which is wild to see. No one go fucking play Strikers without playing Persona 5 first. Strikers is a direct sequel to 5. Please don't go play Strikers without playing 5 first. You will be so confused. But kudos to see that there. Also, shout out to this month's free games on the PlayStation Network. What a weird collection of bangers. You have the Dead Space remake, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and WWE 2K24.
Yeah, such a weird mashup, but like, all right.
Like I can't like we're in October. Doki Doki Literature Club and Dead Space makes perfect sense. You got two horror classics right there. I don't know why fucking 2K24 is there, but I guess it saves me from buying it. So congratulations, thank you.
Good old Sony looking out for the customers.
That's right. Now I can finish my story. Although, oh man, I didn't.
Hope it wasn't online only.
Yeah. Also, shout outs to something wild. I saw spoilers for Raw, and now I'm actually curious to go watch it. But I saw something about the Shield being reunited. I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean we're redoing the Shield again right now? No. So I'm gonna have to go watch Raw now. But yes, now, Kells, what'd you get?
Yeah, so my main thing is a Kickstarter as well. Although I didn't buy it from their Kickstarter, it came out, released, and then I bought it.
I stole it.
Yeah, exactly. I robbed their warehouse, and this is how I did it. Yeah, no. So there's a TCG that they did a Kickstarter. I think it was actually one of the quickest backed products. It raised like $8 million within like 2 days or some shit. It's this little game called Altered. It's by a French company.
Yeah. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, this game's incredible. It's been a whole lot of fun to play. Let me find a card. Find a card. What that one's stupid. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the cool thing about this game, I think I was explaining it before. Like all the cards have a QR code on it.
Yep.
It's not going to show up. So like you digitally register your cards and everything. You can trade them.
Yes.
People
Yes. Yes.
worldwide, print on demand, everything. And so that's one of the cool things about it. And it's just a fun game. So one of my local stores, they're like heavily supporting it. So been getting in on that. So whenever my internet's down, I'm usually at the store playing. um, but yeah, that's been my big one. So they had, if you backed it on Kickstarter, they had
Yep.
boxes with like higher pull rates or something like that as their
Ooh,
Kickstarter
interesting.
backers. And so none of the cards in the booster boxes are foils. You get those by getting the foil cards, then do the print order. But in the Kickstarter boxes, every pack had a foil card, so it's just more exclusivity for if you backed them through the Kickstarter. Um, but yeah, I did that. I bought all the starter decks for it, so I just kind of bought into it, been playing that, and it's been kind of a nice change of pace from Star Wars, because I have been playing that a lot through 2 sets now. So this is just a nice whenever I just feel like wanting to take a break or need to mix it up, just get a game or two in of this, play it online, do whatever, go to the weekly. It's nice. Been a lot of fun.
I'm glad we
But
don't live near each other because I would get back into TCGs in a heartbeat.
right, yeah, just hey, here's a little hit of cocaine. You want some of this?
Oh, I every so often I get the itch to fucking play TCG again, and I'm staring at my Steam library of TCG games that are on there, and I'm always like, it's never the same. It's
That's
not the same.
no, that's really how it is too, because like whenever you're it's just not the same whenever you're like sitting across from someone and you're like bullshitting or going to like a midnight pre-release or some shit like that. It just has like a different vibe to it.
Yeah, that high of fucking cracking packs in a draft,
Mm-hmm.
the adrenaline of what the fuck's about to transpire, just
Yep.
it's not the same.
Nope, never is. Yeah, I tried to do digital drafts before, because I think Magic Arena has them,
It
and
does.
it's so weird. Like, there's something like almost sterile about it. I feel like.
Yeah, I for a little while I did some streaming and I actually got rated by a huge fucking streamer.
Oh,
And it
nice.
also reinforced why I don't like doing live streams, because I started doing a lot of dumb fucking decisions because it was
Yep.
interesting as opposed to doing the smart things. Um, yeah, no, I didn't really care for it because part of the fun of like an in-person draft is it's almost like poker. You're
Yeah.
playing the other players.
Yep.
It's not just like, oh, picking the cards and kind of designing the strategy. It's kind of looking around you and figuring out what everyone else is picking. Like getting a rough idea of like, okay, when these cards got passed along, what cards are kind of in, what cards are going to what people. If you already know the people, you probably have like a good idea of like, ah, fucking Jimmy's going ahead and pulling all the
Yep.
fucking burn cards or whatnot. But if you're not familiar with the players and no one does a shuffle on when they pick up, it's kind of it's a little scummy, but I mean, fuck it. It's no different than counting cards, which some people find scummy. But if you're not going to shuffle the hand that comes to you, if I see what slot you're picking, I'm going to know what fucking card you just took. And I'm going to try to keep a rough inventory of everyone else's decks as I'm building mine. And then that's where some of the fun comes in. Is like, all right, how much of the stuff that's gone around can I memorize and roughly guess or correctly understand who picked what? Some people are smart, some people understand the game, and as soon as they get the cards, they shuffle them around before they actually look at them. Um,
Oh yeah,
but
no,
there's just
I'm a big shit talker. Like I just like fucking with people and just kind of talking shit, especially during a draft like that.
oh,
Because like so in Star Wars you have your leader and you draft your leaders first. There's one in each pack, so you crack them all. You get three, pass two, and so you get three. And the rules state you have to have them laid out so everyone can see them. So if Homeboy
mm,
over there is packing all leaders that are like in the control archetype, and then all the control cards are missing, coming up missing in the draft, Be like, hey, what are you hiding over there? You sitting on some bullshit? They're just kind of like huddled behind the cards. You're like, yeah, I fucking see you, dude. Go fuck yourself, Reddy. So
It's me. I'm the person hiding all the control cards.
yeah, exactly. And so it's just one of those things. It's just so fun to just kind of pick and poke at people and be like, yeah, I see what the fuck you're doing over there. Oh, what'd you pull? Ooh, yikes. Yeah, it's just always so fun. And just that online sterile kind of like environment just kind of like takes out a lot of that social factor too, I feel like.
It does. It's very much. It almost feels like when you're doing it on like Cockatrice, where it's like, yeah, if you're going ahead and just playing randos on Cockatrice, it's still fun. You're still getting the feeling of magic, but there really isn't that social deduction. There isn't that social interaction. It's very much just like I may as well be playing an AI.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's almost exactly how I feel about it too. It's like almost automated in the sense. Yeah. I don't know. And like the whole fact, like whenever you're doing draft and stuff like that, like in person, at least you're getting like something physical out of it, right? Like you're pulling
Yeah.
cards, you're ripping packs, and like you're walking home with something. You do it digitally, and it's like, well, this adds to my library, sure, but it doesn't have the same hit to me for me at least.
For what?
Oh, 100%.
TCGs and the high that you get off of ripping packs open.
Versus just
Digital
Like
loot
digital
box
versions of
equivalent,
them.
no. Marvel Snap is cooler. Fuck off.
But imagine if you had that card in your hand.
I would probably put it in the closet.
Ironically, I'd actually probably get more fun out of it if I could physically play it.
For sure.
I mean, it's also a lot cheaper though, right? Like the amount I put in that for the same time is just gonna come out to cheaper, which is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna make it an argument towards it. Like obviously, like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff like that. That was always the go to days. But like just having the online thing and just the time invested and like the time, how much I put into it has been obscene.
Yeah, no, we were talking about like how whenever you're playing card games digitally, it kind of like has a sterile feel to it. It's like there's like all the social element kind of gets taken out of it.
What if I don't want to talk to people?
I mean, that's fine, but I feel like a big portion of TCGs is like the social element.
What if I don't want to smell you?
That's perfectly valid.
Remember
there
those
are people that legit smell bad.
Remember those? It was like it had to have been like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, where the guy did the butt crack at the Magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. Yeah.
My friend did something
Fucking
similar to
amazing.
Smash Tournament, which is funny.
Yeah, no. One of me and my buddy Ben, we went to a 1K, and there was a dude showing cheeks, sitting at the chair, and I was like, "Hey, dude, right over there." Turned to look, he's like, "Oh my fucking god, this is happening!"
How,
Like, yeah,
how
dude.
David, you shown cheeks on accident? Can you
Yeah,
can you feel the air? Or is it just not noticeable?
it's not noticeable.
Ah, damn. I feel like I could feel like just slight air if I get like my shirt rises a little bit.
See, I'm just like a wiggly person in general. Like, I can't sit still, really. So I'm like always constantly adjusting. So I would definitely know.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Hey, what news do we have? What are we going through? Or sorry, are
We
you guys
got a
still
lot
going
of
through?
shit.
Are you still going through stuff you got or no?
Nah, we're done. We got
All right.
it.
Yeah, we were killing time basically.
Let's do some new stuff.
News.
All right.
News.
Let me pull up here. Do we want to go, because we each posted 3 things. Let's go kind of one, then alternate to the other person here. So I'll start off with kind of one of my shorter ones that I posted up here.
Wait. And how far back are we going? Because are we talking last week? Because if not, we have a couple of the state of play stuff from like Tuesday of last week, right?
Was there anything worth talking about in the state of play?
Hey, David, no one fucking told me Stellar Blade and Nier stuff is happening.
Yeah, it's probably just costumes.
No, like it's a whole ass thing. Like it's not like it's a whole chapter.
Oh fuck! Now we have to play Blade at some point.
Yeah, that's why I started freaking out. Like, remember, this is the one that Yoko Taro was like talking to. Like, remember he was like talking up a lot of stuff
He talks
too.
up anything he's paid to.
Yeah. Oh, which by the way, do you see that tweet that happened with that too?
No.
Let me go look for it really quick. I think it was for that trailer specifically. Yoko Taro posted for it, saying, we will gladly say yes to anything for money,"
Yeah,
which
sounds
is
about right.
fantastic. I
Get the
heard it
bag,
was gonna be like a
man.
whole chapter thing.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting, man.
Yeah, I was surprised you weren't saying anything about that because I think if you thought it was just skin, that's fair.
Yeah, I thought it was just skins. That's why I didn't give a fuck.
Maybe
Really.
it could be I misheard, but I could have sworn I heard it was like a whole thing. Which, by the way, the composer for them, not the main composer, but like one of the guys left that
Yep, after
company.
15 years. With
Yeah,
them.
just do some independent stuff, so we may see him still, but made some amazing music. A lot of the songs that you know from there are from him. So shout out to that guy for some killer music.
But yeah, there wasn't really anything like stellar from the state of play. I thought it was fine, but there wasn't anything that like you bringing that up now. I am struggling to remember beyond like we got the Monster Hunter release date, we got the Dynasty Warriors Origins
Lunar is
release
on
date.
is getting rumored to be limited
Yeah,
run.
That's fine. They do Japanese releases. The same company that's behind it does all their games in East Asia releases as well.
Nice.
So I'll be getting that.
Are we talking about the Pro?
No, why?
Because that was funny.
Yeah, $700 for still not having a disk drive.
A shame that all the 30th anniversary stuff was so limited. Really, really should not have been. I feel like this whole FOMO thing companies are doing, like, oh, get this thing for so. I was like, just make the fucking thing.
Remember when they did the anniversary controller for the PS4 and it was not a limited fucking item?
It's a great looking controller. I'd buy it, but I'm not rushing out to fucking fight other people for it. Like, I'm good.
No, I'm also not in general rushing out to buy an $80 fucking controller either way. Anyways, can with the next console generation we fucking stop with the stupid expensive controllers?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even like the PlayStation 5 controller. That son of a bitch
Thank
dies
you.
so soon.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The battery on it's ridiculous, dude. Like
PS4 one's still the best.
well, I have my Elite Series 2, and this bitch has like a 30-hour battery.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Everyone that's like, oh, the fucking Xbox uses AA batteries, dude. I don't give a fuck. First off, I'll buy rechargeable AA's that'll last like triple, quadruple the time, and I always have backup shit. So it's like, all right, cool, that's done. Pop those babies out, pop these new ones, and I'm good. Like it's literally not been an issue. It's just like the Wii days. I just had rechargeable batteries.
Yeah.
I will prefer those because that way your battery or your controllers slowly die off over time. I'm
You
over.
always have a means to bring life back to them.
For whatever reason, whenever I hold up the DualSense, the DualSense like ergonomically when you hold it feels better, but the triggers itself, I need to disable all the haptic stuff whenever I use it because
Yep, I don't like the haptics.
it makes my finger fucking sore. Like if I'm playing, especially if I'm playing a shooter for however many hours. Like at the end, I'm like having like alternate fingers. And it sounds dirty as fuck.
Well, like I feel like like for me at least, like I have to like overcompensate for it sometimes because it's like giving pushback, and then I'm like squeezing it, and then sometimes it's not. But I'm still fucking squeezing it because I'm expecting it. And like just for some reason, like the haptics will like pop up for something whenever I'm doing something, and I'm like, why am I not going fast enough? Then I hit it harder. I'm like, oh, because I'm not at like the full level of.
GameCube had it right. You could feel it like when it makes the second push, and it's not like
Yeah.
that hard. It's like a normal push will get it all the way through. So you have to lightly push it if you want the other thing.
Yeah.
And then also like the touchpad, never fucking use it. Don't give a shit about having a speaker in the fucking thing. Like all these dumbass gimmicks, I do not give a shit about. If they broke that thing down just ergonomically, no bullshit, I would actually probably like that fuck out of the controller. That'd be one of my top 3 probably. Just because like whenever I hold it, it just feels good. It feels hefty and nice to hold. But after when you add all the bullshit in there, I just don't give a shit. And yeah, it dies like a motherfucker.
Bullshit.
It died. Literally, the only reason I have another one is because it just died so often.
Yep.
which is some bullshit. I know I fell into that fucking hook, line, and sinker, but it's bullshit. But like, yeah, the Xbox ones, they last forever. Even the series The series with the rechargeable still lasts me a fuck ton of time. But
Yep.
Nintendo has that shit right, where that shit just lasts. The Wii U controller had it right more, to be fair. Like that shit, like I could probably look
Yeah, that
for
was
mine
like
right
an
now.
80-hour fucking lifespan.
80-hour life. I could probably go find mine right now. It's probably still got like half a battery in it. The Pro controller less so, but I don't have to charge it too often. I've never had to like it's never really ruined anything. By the time it hits the low battery thing, I just hook
You're
it on,
done
and by the time
playing.
I'm done with that, it's back up to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that whole bullshit needs to chill. But even the Nintendo controllers, the Joy-Con's expensive as shit, dude. Like we could stop with these expensive ones. Like if and to be fair, not to
Do they
ramble
even
on.
have Hall sensors? Like, are they charging this much in their like? Are the PlayStation 5 ones? Are they the Hall sensors? Like, so they can't get stick drift?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, so they're charging
Yeah.
that much for bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually been a thing that's been popping off lately. Is a lot of people are starting to notice drift in their sticks now.
Not to go
Yeah, I
on
need to
my
stop playing NCAA. I'm gonna put some fucking stick drift on mine.
not to go on my bullshit for too long, but I feel like controllers can fall into that whole they could be expensive, and like it's like our pillows, right? You don't want to spend money on an expensive pillow or expensive mattress, but that shit you use so often, you should actually be able to rationalize spending so much on it, you know? Same thing with controllers. You literally use that every single time for every game you've ever done. So like I feel like we should be able to rationalize spending a little bit extra money for a really nice controller. That's fair. But like that's where like the series controller and maybe the PlayStation alternative one of that, the I forget what it's called. Um whatever that is, maybe that's solid. I never tried one, but I'm not gonna go to it. But like
See, my issue with it is it comes into the category of like it's the upfront cost where it's like, okay, I want to play on my console. All right, I get my console. I have the one controller that comes with it. Well, I'm gonna want to play co-op with my partner at some point, or I'm gonna want to play a fighting game with someone at some point. So now I have to go buy a second one. All right, so it's an additional 80 on top of that.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, if I want to play anything that's like an actual party game, I need another two controllers. Fuck, that's another 160 I gotta drop for things I'll occasionally use.
right. But like if you have that one, like that's why I don't really mind, specifically for the Xbox. PlayStation 5 have not put not enough time into the generation to buy too many nice things for it. But like the Elite controller, I'll put time into my Xbox enough to warrant getting that. And I have bought one prior, and I like it enough that I'll go with it. Not the biggest deal in the world, but
Yeah, I have my Series 2. That's my daily driver for whenever I'm sitting back playing the controller game on PC. I'm
Yeah.
usually just playing on the Series 2.
and I do like the Xbox's ability
I
to
just love the
adapt.
heft to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels good. The ability to adapt pretty seamlessly to your PC has been solid too.
Mhm.
But I
I
mean,
can
like,
change the LED color on it.
there's so many weird things about the PlayStation that I'm just on. But the controller, it feels so good. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the Dual Shock, but it's
Yeah,
sacrilege.
I wasn't either.
no
Sacrilege.
no it just does not feel good in my hands. It's too weird. But
The Dual Shock is peak.
no, what the fuck? It's not. It's like a solid like A or B tier, maybe like we'll talk.
Absolutely not. That is the best controller design that ever existed.
I hate you. Anyway, but yeah, it's dumb that I feel like everyone has all these FOMO, like you have to buy it now, because if the Spider-Man covers were just readily available, I would have bought one already at this point. My PlayStation would have those fucking Spider-Man covers on it easy. If they sold those covers for the 30th, then like I would have bought one. Everyone's like, I have people online like, well, they need and limited. I'm like, it's at this point. Honestly, like at this point, like I feel like I hate resellers more than I hate the corporations sometimes. So I'm like, I wouldn't even mind if somebody just doubled the charge of it just to fuck those resellers in the ass with it, because like whatever, you're gonna lose that money off those resellers like doing that. So might as well just get that out of the way. Whatever.
Well, the thing is, they'll still buy them, and then they'll still upcharge for them. So
A little bit less
it's
so
not
though.
gonna stop the resellers.
A little bit less so, because with that PlayStation 5 Pro right now is still available. I don't think a lot of resellers want to buy a $5 or $7 console and jeopardize that.
Well, I think that's just also kind of like reading the market though too, right? Like a lot of people can probably hop on Twitter and be like, "Oh, this is the general response to it," or "That's the like to dislike ratio." Because I'm like PS5 was fresh, right? It's
Yeah,
like
no, I
it
mean
was
that's solid. That's solid. But like that, I'm just in this weird spot where just fuck the
yeah,
resellers, man. Like it's
yeah,
so.
okay, for sure.
Did you see that Japan is doing that thing though, where it's kind of like what Steam did, where it's like to buy a PS5 Pro in Japan, you have to have a or a PS5 no a PS5 anniversary. You have to have a PSN account with 30 hours or more, like as of last month.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, do that shit here. Fuck it. Easy, but whatever. I think that's all I want to talk about. Now talk about your other news, David. So what was the first one you were gonna mention?
The first one I was going to mention is that California has laid down the law, and video game companies now have to make it fucking crystal clear you don't own digital purchases.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you see those pictures going around about um I mean, hey, if we have a listener out in the East Coast and you're getting hit pretty hard, shouts to you. I hope you're all right. Uh,
Yeah.
Asheville, which is one of the cities I drove through because I have some friends out there, it's just literally underwater right now,
Jeez.
which is crazy to watch. It's like it gets real when you like have driven through there or like you've been through there. You're like, oh that's nuts. Um, but like people are showing pictures of Walmarts and like all of the movies are gone. Like people are like buying out all the physical like movies everywhere. Just because like hey, internet's gone, so what are you gonna do? So shout out to physical media. Everyone wants to be like I got into something. Someone mentioned Limited Run. Hey, what patch is going to be on? And Limited Run responded with, we can't answer that. You'll know what patch it is when you get it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and someone's
That's
like,
some
well,
bullshit
why do
right
you need to
there.
know what patch it's on? You're just gonna update it anyway. I'm like, well, it's literally like one, it's preservation, and two, like if they just don't have internet, well, who don't want to have internet right now? I'm like,
Yep. I seen GOG made a comment about it too. They're like, "Hey guys, buying from us, you'll always have access to
Yeah.
it."
shout out to GOG.
And
Yeah.
you can download backups of your games. That's what I've been doing for a long time, and I've been going even harder in on GOG. And just now on my server, I have literally, about 600 fucking PC games, just big chilling there for my GOG installers.
GOG is really the goated of everything else, but one day the people will understand.
True. But yeah, so shout outs to California for finally making companies make it crystal clear you don't own shit.
Fuck yeah.
All right, Kels, what was one that you wanted to go over?
Oh shit, I forgot what it even was.
Did you want to go over the Blizzard
Oh,
shit first?
I
yeah.
need to get that
So
book. I kind of want to like not hear anything
yeah,
else because like every day I feel like a new tidbit's being read on and like kind of reported on. I'm
yeah,
like I kind of want to just read the book and get ahead of it right now because
yeah.
hey,
Jason Schreier's a motherfucker, dude. That guy knows how to sell his shit.
yeah,
Yeah, he interviewed like what was it, like almost 200 fucking people.
Jason
Yeah.
Schreier's interesting and like he's one of those people where like can be a bit lame online, just like can't
Oh,
handle
for sure.
any bit of criticism whatsoever, but like is a really good journalist too. So you kind of have to
Very good at his job, but he does have paper thin skin.
yeah, so like kind of gotta take the good with the bad. But his first book that came out, Blood, Sweat, Pixels, is fantastic. I recommend that one. It's got like 10 different games on it, and it gives a big insight into behind all those games. I had his other book, didn't read it though, his second one, but yeah, he does know how to market it because he's like letting a little bit of a snippet out every day of what's going on
Yep.
with it, and dude, what a way to fuck yourself in your own ass if you're Activision, dude. Like everything, I get.
Dog.
This is why I say like I know stuff is going on behind the scenes. So like with Overwatch, it sucks because man, I love that series and like um my
So what's incredible about it is that I guess the original vision of the game is that they wanted it to be like an alternative to like DC and Marvel, and for all intents and purposes, it's there, but they have, like you said, fucked themselves in the ass with how they've like handled the franchise.
dude. I I always am like at a loss of words whenever it comes to this franchise because
It's
like
baffling. It's genuinely
it's
baffling.
like
Like how
make every wrong choice along this
you,
path and you've done it.
You
yeah,
literally have to
every
try that so fucking hard to drop the bag like they did at every fucking turn.
right. Someone had to have done something and been cursed or something because there's legit. I don't see a way that you do this like without you being actively like part of the problem and trying to crash the
It's
ship.
like flipping a coin and calling it wrong every single time, and like, how do you do that?
Yeah, like
After
I don't.
getting to the Super Bowl, because that's the thing, is like it was
Yeah,
poised to be so successful. So they just about made it. They were just
I'd
about
say
on
they
Easy
made it. They
Street.
were 2016 Game of the Year. I'd say that they made it, and then it was like, all right,
They
what
were they
now?
were so extremely recognizable, dude. Like it was everywhere. Like their characters were like getting poised up to be like, oh, like these people. You're gonna see a lot of these characters just constantly and just fall
Remember
off.
when people thought Tracer was gonna be in Smash?
Remember when Tracer was in Ready Player One?
Oh, I forgot about. She was in Ready Player One.
Yeah,
Like front and center for
Hmm.
that one shot too.
Yep, that's crazy.
fuck that movie. Fuck that
Yeah, fuck.
book.
Yeah.
I never honestly saw the movie. I just really hated the fucking book when I read it, and just presumed I was gonna hate the movie too.
it's very, it's sad because there's a big part of it that has to do with The Shining, and it's legit like the best parts of the movie too. But it's also like fuck you for doing that.
Dude,
Best part of the movie is what it takes from another fucking film.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot about Overwatch recently because I told Kels when I got the
Oh
message
yeah.
was my partner got a funny, or she saw this funny tweet where it's like girls need to ask guys on the first date what their most played video game is because it's a lot about what that guy is, and then someone responded back saying, yeah, if it's Final Fantasy, get the fuck away from them. Which made me think of David really quick. I don't know why.
I mean,
It,
that probably would have been an accurate statement in my youth, honestly.
yeah. But I was like, she was asking me what mine was, and I'm like, it has to be like Halo Reach, Halo 2, or Overwatch. Maybe Smash, I think, actually, at this point, too. But I guess it's harder for me to calculate that just because of its socialized time, too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's so baffling. And yeah, so the big one with Overwatch out the gate. Well, I guess there was a few things with Overwatch, right? Do you want to go over some of them specifically?
No, we can just kind of hit them like as we go because, like you said, there are a bunch and they kind of like lead into each other.
What
'Cause
was
I
the
feel
very
like a
first
lot.
one?
So, well,
It was the one with Jeff Kaplan mentioning the. So the first one was Overwatch or what the fuck is his name? I'm so glad I forgot his name. I don't want to remember it again. But what's the fucker's name that got ousted?
uh, which one
Breeze,
or what?
Head of Activision.
Oh,
Kotick?
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, I
The
God, I should have
CEO.
said no. I never want to remember his name again. He wanted to give Overwatch 1 a whole team, while Overwatch 2 was being made, which would have
Yeah, of like 100 people, he wanted it to be like a huge
right,
Call of Duty level thing.
which is, I mean, I'm gonna put myself in Jeff Kaplan's shoes because like on paper it's like, yeah, fucking do it, but like I kind of understand the minutia of it where it's like Overwatch would have turned into this churned Call of Duty style thing, right? Which we all kind of talk about how like Call of Duty lost a lot of soul in a lot of things. It would have turned into that, but also like the biggest issue with Overwatch was that it had 2 fucking years of nothing in the middle of like its height. Like it definitely took a little bit of a dip, but like you could have raised it a little bit, but like they did nothing. And so they're having to balance a whole fucking league, Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2 on just Team 4's shoulders.
Well, I mean, it wasn't quite that though, right? Because that was one of the big reasons that Jeff. That was like one of the big splinterings there, right? Because I think what he said was he resisted it, didn't want to do it, but it eventually happened with Overwatch 2 being released. They did kind of like split and hire more people, expand the team exponentially. It's one of those things like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. They pushed it off, and then it just kind of like ended up happening anyways. They kind of like blew the team up.
Yeah, but on that other end too, Jeff Kaplan seems like a cool dude, right? But it kind of gives me Bungie vibes almost, where it's like, can you guys get anything done, right? Because like, it feels
Yeah.
like the vision is just getting too unwieldy to the point where it's like, Overwatch 2, from what it was advertised as from concept, never even fucking happened after years of shit, you know? So it's like, was this even possible? Because how the fuck do we spend years like promising that and just scrapping it all? Like, it has to, like,
Well, that's why he left, because they wanted to turn it into a live service. They didn't want to do story.
right,
He was wanting to do
but
story.
even after spending the 2 years doing that though, how did none of that come to fruition?
I mean, I guess the same way that an
I-
MMO turns into an FPS.
Yeah, like I think there's still a lot of that stuff that they have, because there's like missions that people have talked about that we haven't officially seen yet. So I think we still have like the framework for it, but it's just kind of like, yeah, this is on a server off to the side. This isn't our focus.
Yeah, well, the idea, and we mentioned this,
And that's one of those things, like what got left on the cutting room floor, right? Like what was made and just like locked away in a vault now.
right? The concept is really interesting when you think about it, because we talked about this when it was getting talked about first, which is Overwatch and Kaplan had this idea of like crawl, walk, run, and it was Overwatch Origins Edition, which is that's why it was called that, was crawl, which is like, here's our carved out multiplayer experience. Next was the walk, which was the PVE experience, and then when the run was the MMO experience. That's the way he really wants to like level it out. It just blew up in everyone's face. It's crazy how success blew up everyone's like vision, because what happens when you have this crawl, walk, run, but the crawl turns into a sprint. You know, it's like, oh shit, that is what blew up. But wait, guys, that's not what we wanted to do. But you're crazy if you don't do that now. You know, it's like, I understand it's that crazy, but that's a whole concept. Kels, how is we Overwatch? People have been wanting these cool animations. You know, we've been, like, a lot of cool story with Overwatch. Why don't we call Netflix to do that? You know, like, what if we got Netflix to do a series for us? How's that gonna go out?
It's so fucking funny because we were talking about that too. Like, how have they not done this? Why haven't they done this? Why haven't they? Turns out they did do it, but they fucking shot themselves in the foot with it. And everything got canceled because they were doing it with Netflix, I believe, and then they ended
Yep.
up suing Netflix because
They
They took their CFO.
yeah.
they took their CFO.
It
like-
reminds me of that fucking bike where you put the stick in there. You know.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
Or the
what it
meme
is.
of the dude shooting himself, and how could they do this?
Yeah, Eric Andre, because like from what I've seen, they had StarCraft, Overwatch, and was it Diablo or
I think
WoW?
Diablo.
Yeah, they had, and the theory, like the thing was, like people were saying it was gonna be Diablo, but in the style of Castlevania. It's like, what the fuck?
Bro.
We needed that.
Oh.
Come on.
And now
Bro.
Arcane and the Cyberpunk stuff, like all that shit just fucking popped off.
Yeah, they just announced they're doing another Cyberpunk additional piece. I don't think it's like a sequel to Edge Runners, but
Can you imagine
Anyway.
if Blizzard just took that, like, and with that property already could have fucking just like fucking hauled ass out there.
And
You know
the
what?
crazy part too is they could have been ahead of the game. They could have been like one of the first, like, I don't want to say first because video game movies have been done, right? They could, or video game
Yeah.
properties. They could have been like one of the first big ones to kind of like reinvent the wheel, like how Arcane did, how
They would have been
Super
the first
Mario
ones to like
did.
flourish in this new era of like, remember, like,
of this new wave. Yeah,
yeah,
they would have led the
10 years
charge.
ago, 10 years ago, it was like video game adaptations never fucking work.
Yeah,
Never work. We were like over here, we're thinking like, oh, I guess Warcraft isn't that bad.
it could be
Assassin's
worse.
Creed could have, I mean, but like now it's like, oh no, there's like a mark for it now, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
And Blizzard could have been on top of that. You know what's funny though? Now I think about it, it's like that Microsoft purchase would never happen if they just didn't do that. If they like managed to like get through with even this, let's say they fucked everything else up. I feel like this could have like blew up a lot of their franchises, because I feel like I hear a lot of really positive goodwill out of that, especially with Overwatch. Would have
Yeah,
really
Fallout.
needed that invigoration for that.
Yeah, look at Fallout. Whenever the Fallout TV show came out, sales went through the roof for every game in the series.
And you have 3 franchises of yours all buzzing underneath there. Like this Microsoft buyout would probably not happened.
Oh no, yeah, they would have skyrocketed. It would have been insane for them. And that's the big thing too. Like whenever you cross over into different medias like that, especially into Netflix, you kind of just bring in normies. You're like, hey, this interesting? Just go play our free to play Overwatch 2, blah blah blah.
Do you think? Do you think it was?
Yep.
So do you think the video game stuff was like? Do you think Arcane stuff was already being eyeballed ahead of time, or do you think it was Blizzard ahead of the game on that and then fucking themselves over, and then so they started like scouting other games? Because when did Arcane come out?
Like 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, let's say 2-3 years ago.
That's about how long the animation would take then. So it was 2020, but I imagine that they said in 2020 it got canceled.
I feel like it would have been like around the same period. They would probably had like separate studios working on them around the same time. I feel like it would probably
Yeah.
been like a tiered release. Like, here's Arcane for the winter season, and then spring you're gonna
Can
get
you
Overwatch.
imagine if that led into an Overwatch 2? Like just
Yeah,
whatever
that would've
season
been
just
fucking
led into an
insane.
Overwatch 2?
Yep. No, it could have been amazing because supposedly like there's a lot of stuff hinting towards there's supposed to be like a big reveal for Ramatra too. Like if you just like lead in like the show leads into like a reveal for the Overwatch 2 and the new.
Whenever you
character.
see the cinematics, you're like, it feels like there's like just so much more.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. That's why I said like what's on the cutting room floor that we just either haven't seen yet or just got completely trashed. Because there's a lot missing, and there's like there's been a lot of content creators like covering the Schreier stuff and like just kind of like going back now with like another like a magnifying glass and retreading stuff and being like, okay, what did we miss now since we know all this? And it's pretty funny just seeing like the holes and gaps of like where stuff can be filled in now.
Is there
Well,
is there
'cause
someone that
it's
does that with
wild.
Overwatch?
Do what?
Do you have a channel that could do that with Overwatch, or that does that with Overwatch?
Here lately, there's one Stylosa. He's covered Overwatch for quite a while.
Yeah.
He's been a part of like Cloud9 and like the London Spitfire stuff, and yeah, he like covers it, and he's gotten a lot more like harsh on him. 'Cause
Yeah,
he was, like,
yeah.
the fanboy, and so it's been really interesting to kind of watch that.
Okay, sorry, David, to cut you off. Just one.
No, it's all good. It's just wild because we talked about this a while back, where it's like, they released Warcraft, and then like fucking nothing after that. And I get it, the Warcraft didn't do the hottest domestically, but it was sold like fucking gangbusters overseas. You still would have expected something. Again, at the time, their largest fucking property. It's just wild that we didn't see a follow up to that one at all, at the very least, especially where it got to a certain point where it felt like all Blizzard did was like spend time and resources on doing cinematics. So even to the point though where it's been years since Warcraft. I mean, I feel like it's been like almost 6-7 years now since Warcraft came out. And we still haven't had any other production, even if it was just an in-house effort. It's kind of fucking wild.
Right.
Yeah, and, it really is too, because I feel like even like it's kind of crazy that they haven't outsourced it anywhere else. Like, so I remember when Doomfist got announced, his cinematic was outsourced to like a Korean like animation company, and they did that. It was a different art style. It was like traditional, like hand drawn looking. But other than that, I'm pretty sure all of the other cinematics have been in their in-house, whatever it's called. But yeah, so it's just crazy to see like how neglected it's been. But so it turns out like there's supposedly been 2 canceled StarCraft games since as well.
What a cursed fucking series, dude.
Yeah,
Hurts my soul.
And supposedly StarCraft 3 was on the table, but it just kind of like got hushered away after Reforged sold like shit.
Again, why the fuck would you ever use a remake of another fucking franchise under your belt to gauge that? Fucking Capcom does this shit all the time, and it infuriates the hell out of me. I don't understand. Also, Reforged sold like shit initially because it came out in a fucked state. I was there. I was there when the fucking Ancient Magic was fucking written. Reforged was a titanic fucking mess at launch. Absolutely disgusting to see. And yeah, it's fine-ish now. But speaking as a lifelong fucking Warcraft 3 player, what a sorry fucking state that game was in when it came
the thing
out.
is like no matter what the state of it is now, the cardinal sin is it completely replaced what was there before. Warcraft
Yes.
3 is no longer available
No.
unless you have copies of it, a way to obtain it yourself.
Blizzard used to actively offer all of their older titles for free on their website. I still have the installers from that. StarCraft, Brood War, Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne, Blackthorn, Lost Vikings, fucking what's the racing one again there?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I know what you're talking
It's
about.
escaping my brain right now. But all of those used to be able to download fully patched latest versions from free from Blizzard's website. And then as soon as the Activision shit happened, that all disappeared. And it's just fucking wild to me. A remake should never replace the original.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Overwatch.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, original recipe Overwatch.
Ah, well, we'll see.
Yeah,
I
but we
guess. So
don't
go-
want to split the community. You should have.
I think at this point, well, they're still trying to go back to 6v6 now.
It's so funny.
I don't know. It
It's
makes me a little,
Jover.
it makes me a little bummed out every time I look at it because I'm like, I really love that franchise. It was so much fun, but I just don't really have. I think was it on the game came out on Game Pass. Is it Champions Edition? So I'm assuming it like has all the characters. So like, part of me is a little inclined to like check it out a little bit, but I also
For
don't
what?
want. Overwatch 2 came out on Game Pass, and it has.
Oh, okay.
It was called something, and I think it was because it has all the characters in it now, or something like that.
Well, how does that work? Because the characters now are free. Like you get them regardless.
Is it retroactive though too, or is it all
That's
future
why I'm
ones?
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Like right now, if you log in and you try to play whatever characters on the battle pass, they're free. So I wonder like how that works retroactively with. It's so messy.
Yeah, so I think with that, I think the Champions thing, whatever they have on Game Pass, I think it gives you those ones. I think from now on,
Nice.
heroes are free,
Yeah.
which would make sense. I think because it would fuck over people who had bought the ones already, just to give them out for free. But I guess this is like the loophole around to get like, all right, well, we're not
Well,
giving
like,
it out for free.
Or like even the ones that are okay, no, so I think the ones that are right now, like the old ones that were in the battle pass, I think they're like challenge related is what it is. Like you have to
Mm.
complete X challenges to unlock them instead of purchasing them.
Okay.
Because they were free as well, but you had to reach like level 45 or whatever before they were free.
Right. Okay. Is there any other fucking heinous ass stuff besides those that we can laugh at?
And I guess supposedly I seen a thing like I don't take it or leave it. I guess the whole Cosby Suite thing was misconstrued. Supposedly that all happened before his like big convictions, and I guess the Cosby Suite was in reference to like a sweater he wore, but like the media like ran with it. And like,
I've
took
always
it.
known it was about the sweater. They're
Yeah.
fucking idiots that they didn't mention it was before all that.
Yeah, for
How
sure.
the fuck are you? How the fuck have you not said that?
Yeah, and I guess a lot of those people got fired too over it.
Oh,
and it was just
no.
kinda like it was just kind of like a miss, like they got fired over the reporting over it. Like I'm pretty sure the dude that McCree was named after, he got fired. He
Yeah.
got shit canned. He was part of all of that. He was also working on Diablo 4 at the time, and I think there were some more developers and just
way.
people that were involved with it. That
This
got
is like
canned.
all like slowly just dawning how fucking dumb that is.
Yeah, a lot of those people lost their jobs over that. Yeah, it's so fucked.
Why did they not say that was prior? Why none of them say that was prior?
It was probably just one of those things like, hey, this looks like shit, guys. Your faces are plastered all over this. We got
But
we gotta
were they
keep
staying quiet because they're like, well, I guess we'll let HR cover this? And HR was like, fuck you guys.
Probably, and I'd imagine they probably got a fat severance for it if they're like.
It
And
doesn't fucking matter. Like your name's fucked.
Yeah, I'd be willing. Yeah, exactly. They're fucking scarred for life for that. Like they're always gonna be associated. Like right now, we're talking about like, hey, that guy that McCree's named after. Like we know who it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. That's actually obscene. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was my reaction.
Hold on. How much is this book? I need to read that whole thing. That's actually like 15 layers of fucked. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, it really is because it's just gross negligence.
No one covered for you. Like, I understand it looks bad, but that should have been like a whole like PR. Hey, we understand it looks bad. We don't stand by Bill Cosby, but like all those were said.
Yeah, at that point,
much prior to that.
It's like we don't endorse rapists. We never endorsed rapists.
Dude,
at that point, it's just like
that's like so fucking stupid. And your name's fucked.
Let's see here. No, I don't. Give me the physical fucking book. Jesus Christ. $27 for the hard copy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. I have a friend that works at the bookstore.
Hey, do you have the audiobook available?
The audiobook's only fucking $19.
Oh, nice. It might be free with your subscription to Audible.
I don't have a subscription to Audible anymore.
What's the book called again?
It's called Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment.
Let's see if it's even available in stores.
I don't necessarily want a hard copy. I'll fucking take the $15 off for a fucking paperback.
October 8th. Oh, he even used the WoW fucking logo. That's awesome. I haven't seen the cover. That's amazing. That mad lad.
I don't want to drop $27 on a book, but I think I might.
How much?
27.
$7 for the hardcover.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there's no fucking paperback version. But it's only $19 if you want the audiobook. I do not.
Just do your membership trial for Audible.
No, because I've already gone through a lot of those. I mean, I suppose I own my own domain now. I could just keep spinning up infinite trials.
Holy shit. Listening length, 9 hours and 16 minutes. I guarantee you I can read that faster than 9 hours.
I mean, that's honestly low-key one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of audiobooks. Is usually just faster for me to fucking read it.
Depends on if you crank the speed up or not, though.
That's true.
I can't focus when I crank the speed up.
Oh.
I have to listen to everything at its natural tempo.
See, it's so funny because like your brain will adjust though. So like when you listen to something like 2 times speed, by the time you're like, when you go back to 1 time speed, it sounds like everyone's talking very slow.
Like, can you speed this up?
Yeah, so I'll like crank the speed up whenever we're doing audiobooks in class, but the girlfriend listens to her audiobooks 2 times. And like I'll like open the car door and just like it sounds like fucking chipmunks. I'm like, how did you listen to this? And she's like, I can't listen to anything lower than that. I'm like, ADHD brain. Like, holy shit.
Jesus Christ, no kidding.
She gets a little frustrated when I'm like watching videos. She's like, can you speed this up? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
I want you to actually retain the information.
No, she gets it. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of nuance is lost whenever you start to go a little bit above speed, you know? Like, there are some narrators that will read really slow, and I'm like, all right, crank it to 1.2, 1.5 if you're feeling super spicy, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something just nice about just the 1.0 for a lot of people.
Yeah, and like I've listened to a few audiobooks now where like the narrator kind of like goes all out and like performs. So
yeah,
I feel like that'd be so weird to listen to. Like the Dune audiobooks. There's a dude that the narrator for it, like he like full on like gets into the voice, gets into the character, and like acts it out. So I can only imagine that would be kind of
same with a lot of the Discworld books. Those are ones I'll definitely say the audiobook is worth it.
All right.
But yeah, other than Blizzard, What else was there?
All right, so I'll go into my next one here. Any highlights y'all want to cover from Tokyo Game Show?
None.
Uh, what all was even shown there? I can't remember. I was like looking through a list of it.
Microsoft had a fucking thing where they said, "Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, it's still coming. We promise."
Yeah, they showed off the new screen captures and stuff. The yassified Ocelot.
Yeah.
That was the funniest when I seen a bunch of people getting mad about it because there's like a screen like people grabbed and he was like mewing. It looks like, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? They made Ocelot into a pussy." It's like newsflash. He's always been a pussy, guys. Chill out.
Also,
Fucking
shout out
dork.
to Microsoft confirming at Tokyo Game Show that we promise we're getting more JRPGs. It's gonna happen. We were flooding the market with them now. We promise. So Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters on there now.
They
They're
say
also
that,
getting
but
the
have
Lunar
they been like
games.
have they been like blasting metaphor at all? Like I haven't been paying attention. I haven't seen like a
No,
lot of
because their
advertising.
marketing department doesn't believe in Atlas.
Well, they didn't believe in Hellblade 2 either, so I guess it's just like a running theme for their games.
I forgot about that, honestly, which is unfortunate to say, but yeah, honestly, there was some neat things kind of shown off and discussed. Again, we got to finally see more of the Suikoden 1 and 2 remake, which I'm feeling comfortable about that. I've been concerned with how silent Konami has been on it, but interestingly, they have the team lead that was the team lead of Suikoden 5 working on it, which is fascinating because that was the only game he has a credit for is that game. So it'll be curious to see how these come out, but Suikoden 5 is a fucking banger. So I guess if we're gonna have someone who's a one and done kind of person, that's someone I would trust to do Suikoden 1 and 2. We also got a confirmation of physical for Neo Dimension, Fantasia Neo Dimension. Love that we're getting physicals for that. Excited to see that. Oh, fucking Yakuza with the wildest out of goddamn nowhere fucking reveal. Kels, did you see this?
Yeah, the pirate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Majima, my boy Majima is getting his own game, and it's a fucking pirate in Hawaii theme to it. What a wild fucking. I'm so down. I'm so excited. Also, shout outs to my boy Samoa Joe once again.
I
Getting
love
some
that you get
fucking
excited
video
for
game
these, and
roles.
you're not playing these in the like in the next 5 years.
I'll eventually get through all of them.
It's
One
one of those
day.
things like you know you like it, so you're just like happy for it.
I
No,
know
I
I
know,
like
I
it.
know,
Like
I know. I wish
like
I
a
could give
warm
David a
blanket.
superpower to like just go through his games because he's not gonna get there.
I've fully
when-
played through 0 through 3, and I'm halfway done 4. So I mean, like,
Yeah, all right. Let's count these down really quick. 4, 5, 6, 7. What's it's
and then
like
Man with no name, or who erased his name.
yeah, the Man with No Name.
Infinite Wealth.
Then there's Infinite Wealth. There's also Dead Souls. There's also
Are you going through all
the
those?
two that
Are you
are
going through
set
those in Judgment?
Japan. Yeah. No, I'm not counting Judgment because Judgment is a side series entirely. But there's those.
Like
There's
a
the
cop-out.
2 on PSP.
You're going through all
there-
those before you get to where you're at.
I'm not gonna get through all those before.
What are the
that.
What are the ones you're getting through until you get to that? It's 4, 5, 6, 7, Infinite Wealth, and then you're there.
No, because you still got to do the Man with No Name.
So and you're there in 7 games. You're good.
Yeah.
I seen a breakdown that someone did, like a flow chart on how to truly play the Yakuza games. It's like watch the cutscene for this, play the middle section of this, finish the cutscene from this one.
Fuck, and that's another thing coming out this goddamn month is
Yep.
fucking Yakuza, the series.
Yeah, no, they just released like an actual trailer for it too, and it's fucking sick. Like,
oh my
I'm-
god, this
I'm
too
officially
much shit
hyped
this
for it.
month.
Yep.
Fucking hell. Trying to think, was there anything else with Tokyo Game Show? No, I think that was the kind of big highlights for me personally. I'm sure if I actually had kept notes day of, but the fact that I can't remember much off the top of my head, probably wasn't like a phenomenal amount of shit. But yeah, just
Yeah, I think like the most noteworthy. I think they announced like a new monster for the new Monster Hunter, and like even then I don't like remember what it was. I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, they also have a collab with Zoids. So there are 2 Zoids Monster Hunter dragons you can get,
Okay,
which is
that's
fucking
cool.
wild.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's a great
Uh,
crossover.
Hell yeah, fucking I wish Zoids would get a resurgence in the West again. I fucking adore Zoids. Aside from that, that's Tokyo Game Show. So Kells, let me go scroll back up
Yeah,
here.
so Magic the Gathering community is in shambles. And
Yeah, so talk a bit about this one here.
yeah, so I don't know if you've seen, but they banned a few cards. And
No.
so Wizards has not banned cards. So there's a rules committee that kind of like oversees like
Yeah, the judge
op-
system
yeah,
there.
the judge system for CD EDCH, whatever the acronym is, for
Oh,
Commander.
EDH.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah,
sorry,
no, you're
EDH is the way a proper fucking person addresses it. But
there you go.
yes, if you're a fucking pleb that goes and buys the official products, it's called Commander. Elder Dragon Highlander, for those curious what EDH stands for.
So so the rules committee, they decided to ban 4 cards.
Really?
Yeah. And these cards are cards that are highly sought after for the format. Cards that are fairly popular as well.
Did they
Um,
yeet back out fucking Jace the Mind Sculptor?
well, I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm trying to find
Oh,
a
I
list
found
of
it.
them. There you go.
Dockside Extortionist.
Yep. Red deck,
Really? Jeweled Lotus.
Jeweled Lotus,
Monocrypt. Really?
Monocrypt.
And Nadu the Winged Wisdom.
Yeah, so Nadu's a more recent one. But
Okay.
the thing, everyone's freaking out because of Mana Crypt mainly, and for a Jeweled Lotus because so there's a lot of timing that goes on with this, and so the timing might not be there, but it feels really dirty because both of these cards have been heavily featured in like the most expensive box sets. They've been the Chase
Yeah,
icon
all the
for
master sets have had them.
yeah, for the master sets, and here recently Lost Caverns of Ixalan had Mana Crypt in it, but they did like the special arts, like the neon chromium arts. uh so it's just really funny and kind of sad to see this happening because these are like highly sought after cards, very expensive cards that are quite commonly used, and just getting yeeted out. But on the more diabolical side here, the highly rational and very thoughtful and considerate community that the Magic the Gathering community has, they went after and had a great reaction to this. No one freaked out. No one issued death threats. Is what would happen if this were a perfect world. But unfortunately, there are a bunch of fucking idiots that started harassing the people on the rules committee about it.
I don't
So
get why Nandu was banned. That seems tame.
yeah, it really does, especially compared to others there, because I feel like there can be an argument, but at the same time, why is Soul Ring not banned?
Right?
Oh, because they
Like,
reprint Soul Ring
obviously
all the
ban
fucking
Power
time.
9. I get why you gotta ban Power 9 from everything but Legacy and Vintage. Fine, whatever. But, like, even Dockside Extortionist, I don't. It just seems like they're against weird monoramp options.
Right, and that's been a common complaint I've been seeing people say too. Like, why? Like, we get like maybe Jeweled Lotus, but at the same time, it feels dirty to do that. But like, what's going on here? But like I was saying, so these people on the rules committee have been getting harassed, and so what's happened is this rules committee has decided to essentially disband. They're handing over all of this power back to Wizards. They're saying, "Hey, we're not dealing with this anymore. We got harassed out of this area. We're giving you back this power." So, of course, Wizards of the Coast, a company that is known for doing what's right by their player base, they are now back in charge of making the rules changes for probably, I'd say, the most popular format in Magic currently.
Yeah, easily. I mean, fucking standard rotated way too much, which is part of the reason I got out of it as well. Is when they went back to fucking every 2 sets rotating, it was so expensive to keep up with.
Supposedly that's changing. That's like part of like the new initiative, but yeah. Besides the fact of what's going on now.
Okay, like I got reading through this here. Sorry, you've activated the fucking competitive MTG neurons in my brain again.
Ah, that's good.
So I'm looking at the rules committee reasons. For Mana Crypt. Coming down for no mana on turn 1, it's quite possible to have the explosive start of Mana Crypt.
I'm excited. I forgot that they give descriptions on why the.
Yeah. You can have the start of a Mana Crypt into a Signet or Talisman land and another Signet, leaving that player untapping 5 mana on turn 2. Okay. In my very first fucking competitive match of fucking Magic the Gathering, had one of my best friends pull fucking Emrakul on turn 3 on me. In standard. So that we're talking the original Emrakul Aeon's Titan, a 15 fucking mana drop cost card. He fucking pulled on me on turn 3. Why are we complaining about 5 mana on turn 2?
Right.
In games going over 12 turns, the accumulated threat of damage from Mana Crypt provides unreasonable. Fucking, what do you mean turn after 12 turns? Look, speaking as a control player, that played even mono, or not mono, but that even played occasionally white blue control, because I hated life, and it was the only way to be competitive for a while. Any game that goes to 12, fucking 12 turns plus, everyone's in it for the long haul and welcomes a swift fucking death at that point.
Yep. Kill me now, please. Get me out of
I
here.
have literally gone to time so many times. Adrian, for perspective from you, time in Magic the Gathering, the max that a round can go is 60 minutes. I have gone to time so many times with white-blue control. So to sit here and be like, nah, you can't go ahead and have a power creep happen after 12 plus turns. No, I would welcome that. I would fucking welcome that. This is the dumbest shit. What clown hates ramp? I don't understand this. There is someone reading through these rulings that is ass mad that, you know what? It's also because most of these are mono ramp that aren't just green. So I think it's just someone ass mad that someone other than green can fucking mono ramp.
Right. I like Carl Stop because it's quick.
I mean, Magic the Gathering's quick fucking too. You can sometimes have turn 0 wins. You can beat your opponent before the game even starts.
OTK, baby.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Not even one turn kill. Pre-game kill. Flash Hulk is a wild and hilarious strategy.
Oh, the Pokemon trading card game come on iOS finally.
Yeah, that's coming like October or something. It's like at the end of the month, right?
I literally, as I say that, I scroll on Twitter and saw Marvel Snap streamers this week, and it has that Andy meme where they drop Woody and they have Buzz, and it's probably Marvel Snap for Pokemon.
I've been seeing that game has like some weird rules on like how you get packs and like open them and stuff. Like you have to like there's like a membership that you can do to open packs.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which is weird because like I felt like the physical Pokemon TCG kind of understood the assignment because I don't know if they still do it, but I know for a while they were doing it where whenever you bought a pack of physical Pokemon
You get
cards,
those in
you
game.
also got a redemption for the digital. I'm like, that's how you do it. That's
Yeah,
how it
that's-
should be.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. That's dope. Although I'd be mad if I pulled some gas and then like I get the digital pack and it's just a bunch of weenies, just a bunch of stupid stuff.
Honestly, I'd be
Yeah.
more mad about the reverse of like, oh man, I pulled this fucking $800 card in the fucking digital version,
Yep.
but my actual pack was all just fucking slop. Goddamn, pulled a 50-cent fucking mythic. What the hell am I doing with my life?
But yeah,
all
other
right.
than that, it's just kind of sad that these people may have made a stupid decision, didn't deserve to get harassed, and now we're handing power back to Wizards, which always ends up well. So
Yeah, it's fucking unfortunate, and it's also kind of one of those things where I guess what is the alternative is really what it boils down to. And while I dislike on principle the people that are making the cards determining the format, because that just gives them an excuse to manipulate the format with what they're selling. Um, there's got to be some kind of middle ground where you're not having people pulling weird bullshit that feels like it's out of nowhere, but at the same time not having the company be that influenceable to it.
yeah, I did see one thing that was kind of sad. So I guess Commander was a format that was pioneered by like one specific guy. I forget his name, but I remember he just did
Yeah.
it, and he passed away. And there's a person on the rules committee that
Oh,
was like talking about like, hey, I was on this doing this for and with my friend, and now I'm having to step away from it. We're having to put it aside. It's like that sucks because it was probably one of those things that not only you were passionate about, your friend was passionate about, shared it with them, and that was kind of like the thing you're holding on to. It kind of sucks that you have these shitheads that are kind of running people out of the spot. I feel like there could
that's
have been like
unfortunate.
yeah, there could have been like better conversation about it, but
Also,
people
I
aren't
feel like
rational.
Wizards should have done something to fucking acknowledge that person too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like something should have happened. Like I don't know. There's
You
a
literally co-opted a fucking fan-made format and have made millions off of it.
yeah. Well, they did I think they did a secret lair for him, and I think like they donated profits to like one of the research foundations in his honor. But I mean, still, there's
Yeah,
more
they
to
made
be
more
done.
money off it. Okay.
Right, right, right.
Um. All right, I got. Looks like you only had two stories that you
Yeah,
mentioned are
yeah,
in
that was
yours.
it.
All right. All right. So for my last story, because this is the biggest fucking doozy of them all. Uh, Fucking Nintendo has been on a goddamn warpath as of late. I don't know what fucking bug has fucking crawled up their ass, but I can't in good conscience buy Nintendo shit for quite some time now. Holy fuck.
The big catalyst I think with this one, we'll mention it first because I saw a post just now like a second ago.
I mean, there's been a lot of things Nintendo has been doing. They've been going after a lot of YouTubers as of late. For some, it's been showing Nintendo games being emulated. For some, it's just straight up having Nintendo game footage in their fucking videos. Not even being emulated, just straight up, fucking, what are you doing? Show Nintendo footage. Also, pepperoni and cheese to the last bastion of Switch emulators.
Yep.
This has been a wild thing that happened basically a couple hours before the podcast. The lead dev of Ryujinx apparently got some kind of message from Nintendo, and the rest of the team were like, hey, we want to be the ones to kind of fully explain what's going on. Dude guy got a message from Nintendo. We were all afraid that that was a sign that they were going to start suing us. And instead, he just basically started taking all the repositories down. So they think that basically he was paid by Nintendo to shut it all down.
There was a post on Twitter just now that I just scrolled by where it showed Echoes of Wisdom being played about 2 weeks ago on Region X, which is probably a big reason why Nintendo's.
But there's no
I mean, they do that a
legal.
lot.
This is
Right.
the frustrating thing. They have no legal standing for that. Though.
Right. So it's.
Well, that's why people think he got paid off too, right? Because I think they're like Brazilian based, and the
Yes.
copyright laws are super lax. So Nintendo
100%.
really can't go after him. All they can do is be like, "Hey, here's money. Shut that shit down."
Exactly. And also, this is the frustrating thing. I've ranted about this a lot on the fucking podcast. Go back and look at the legal precedent in the US. Bleem versus Sony proved that emulation is legal. The main reason that really fucked over the team behind Yuzu was the fact that they were outright selling components of how to optimize Yuzu, as well as they were actually outright using code from the Switch. Ryujinx wasn't. Ryujinx was going ahead and just being completely open source, They were being above board with everything. But it's the fact that as we're approaching the Switch 2,
Yep.
Nintendo is weirdly dropping the hammer illegally on so much shit. But unfortunately, who's got the money to fight Nintendo in court?
Right, and so
Even if you're right, this is the shitty thing.
right. So I mean, it's that weird, really weird gray area, David, where I would be curious.
It's
like,
not
what
a
would
gray
your- what would-
area.
well, no, for you. Let's say if you were in this person's footsteps and Nintendo's like, here's a lot of money, take your shit down, or we're gonna sue you, and again, like you'll win, but like the money and time is gonna be egregious, right?
Oh,
like,
are you kidding? If I got the opportunity to send a legal document to tell Nintendo to suck my dick, I would.
but
So good, but
would that not cost
I
way
can
too
do it.
much money and time though for you? Like genuinely, like speaking of
Oh,
like,
100%. Again, look at the guy who got a fucking 70-year-old
right,
man.
I know. So
paying a
again, I'm
fucking
saying I get that,
multi-million debt.
But like, if I'm putting myself in his shoes, and it's like either accept a massive bag from Nintendo or accept that you're gonna get fucked, even if you're gonna win, like time and money. It's like I don't know. Like that's an area where I'm
Here's
like,
the thing. Okay, real talk. If it was me, this is purely for amusement and fun. This is not me
obviously,
giving any real thought. This is for
There's no
entertainment
actual
purposes
legal
only.
advice being given by.
Yeah,
by-
this is not real legal advice. This is purely for entertainment. If it were me, legitimately, what would happen is I'd talk to Nintendo. I'd be like, all right, cool. You want to give me money? Let's talk. Buy time. All right. As I'm buying time with Nintendo talking with their bullshit, I go ahead and I make sure that my open source code then gets thrown into the public domain. I would go ahead and make sure that everything in it is protected. There's a few specific licenses for it that I can't remember. I think like the GL3P license. It's been a hot second since I looked into it. But 100%, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm going to make sure that while I'm buying time with Nintendo, this is all ready to go ahead and go live. Then I work out my negotiations with Nintendo.
What do you think?
Where-
Hold on. I feel like they're smart enough to say like, hey, it's got to go down by like this date.
Have a kill switch on it.
Yeah, 100% have a kill switch on it.
Just have it like ready to go packaged. I feel like.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like people would do that ahead of time, but like, again, put yourself in his shoes. If they would know. They catch again. Nintendo has hella lawyers, right? So they'd be like, the cutoff date is. It probably was right. It's like, hey, the cutoff date is October 1st. Have that down.
I mean, there probably wasn't even a cutoff. From the way it was explained in the community, it was very much a very quick thing where they just reached out to him, and he just kind of went quiet on everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. Is it was an email saying, hey, here's the money. It's got to go down by this, and the alternative, right? Like, so it could have been like a week ago, and it could have been like, hey, you have 1 week to shut this down, and then it's done.
Yeah, but at that point, no, fuck it.
Nintendo sent a
Buy all
digital
the time
pass
you
them.
can. Just
But you're
to
not
waste
buying
their lawyer's
time. Like again, like I'm saying, it's like it's either that or nothing.
Well,
know
you
it's-
asked me what the fuck I would do, so shut the fuck up. And
But I'm
tell
saying,
me what I
but
would
I'm
do.
telling you what would happen though, right? Like I'm saying the hypothetical is like
Well-
if they give you the 1 week, and there's no buying time because it's like 1 week and this is the deadline time.
No, because I need to consult a lawyer of my own. They can't
Yeah.
go ahead and if they go ahead and say no, you have 1 week to respond and not give you recourse. Perfect. Then fuck you. You've given me actual ammunition to use against you in court. We're going to court.
Okay.
You can't just be like you have X amount to respond, or this is going to a case. Because at that
they're not
point,
saying it's a case, though,
congratulations,
right?
you've now, huh?
They wouldn't say it's going to a case. That's what I would imagine. I'm saying is like, we'll offer
Objection.
You,
No, they
yeah,
would
I'm
100%
playing too much
say it's
attorney
going.
right now, David. It's here's is X million dollars. Have it shut down by October 1st, and if not, then no money. Then that's fine. But like, that's
Yeah,
all
and
they're
that's when
offering.
you say, "Hey, I need to go ahead and speak to counsel."
And they would.
if they
would
say-
no,
if they
'cause
don't-
it's not really. It's
Well,
not
if
a
they
legal
don't say
thing.
no, then fuck it. You let them bring it on. Because again, if they're going ahead and acting in bad faith, that shows that's an active bribe at that point. Congratulations, you have
Yeah.
actively been trying to engage in bribery.
Yeah, I really want to see like how they reached out to him, right? Because like I feel like part of me is like,
Yeah, I
of course they're
texted
gonna
at
reach
2
out to him.
a.m. Hey, you up?
Hey, yeah, hey, you up? You want $2 million? Like for real, like I wonder, like, because I feel like it'd be like official, like lawyer speak, but then part of me is like, they probably just want to get this shit done with. They're probably like, hey, bro, sign this piece of paper, delete your shit. You'll have the money by 6 a.m. Let us know
So
by
yeah,
10.
so it's hard to say really what's going on without like the full context of like what happened behind the scenes.
Or he might be
But
dead. Nintendo assassins may have got to him through the email.
it's true. They might have sent their
They gave him a
ninjas.
real life virus.
Yep.
But no, it's fucking heinous. Again, because this is the unfortunate thing is in this person's shoes. I kind of get it, of like.
I super get it. I mean, I would.
I get
I
it, but
will
I'm
not-
disgusted by it.
And I will take the David, the other side, David, where I am money. I need money. So like, if that happened to me, it's like I'm taking the bag, and I'm like, yep. It's open source. I wouldn't really feel guilty about it. I'm like, you guys got it. Like, if someone else wants to go out there and fight
Well,
a good
he
fight,
tried to take down the code. That's the thing. Is like it was open source, but it started disappearing.
Yeah, people have. I've been seeing like people are trying to fork it now.
what does that mean? So
Yeah,
wait,
and I
wait,
made
like-
sure to.
wait. So what
Huh?
does that mean? Is it not like if I downloaded it, then I'd be good?
Well, if you've already downloaded it, it's good. So what happens is the way that like open source kind of works is that there's a code repository that everyone has access to.
Okay.
But it still has to be managed by someone. And what happened is he took down his code. So that just fucking disappeared. But because there was already people that were part of the project that were like, hey, he's suddenly gone radio silent on it, they already pre-forked a lot of their stuff. The guy also did release a lot of stuff on Patreon, where he's like, hey, here's some like test builds I'm working on, just to kind of get basically beta feedback. So people have also been leaking the stuff that was in the Patreon of those builds.
Yeah, so as long as
So-
someone had it, I would not feel, I would feel 0% guilty about it. I'm like, yeah, someone else wants to fight the good fight.
No,
Go for it.
I would though. Like I would be doing a lot more to preemptively protect that code. Because at the end of the day,
Money. I need money. I'm a teacher. I need money.
no, I that would be one of the few times I would actually not care about the money part. That would be one of the few times that on
Fake-ass sellout.
principle I would look. I'm a sellout 80% of the time, and then the other 20% of the time, it's about the principle of the matter. It's why you'll never see us shill for mobile apps on this fucking podcast.
Nah, Marvel's not want to sponsor me any day. Fuck that. I'm in. Hell yeah.
Well, that's more than just a mobile app.
It's a way of life. Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. Like, I'm with Adrian. I'd take the money, but I'm not signing shit because I'm definitely reinvesting that into fucking Nintendo over hardware with it.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, like I'm set, so it's like I'd be good, like whatever. If you're gonna give me money like that, and like I don't have to like you will never touch this anything. I'm like, no, fuck that. Just if it's a straight up, hey, shut this down, we'll give you money, then yeah, say less, man.
Well,
Got it.
it's that's the weird part with knowing this. So this has happened in the pirating community where that's how Denuvo came about,
Yeah.
where they basically hired I think it was actually Ubisoft hired like the best crackers in the scene to
That's
create
racist.
Denuvo. Yes.
David, what David says does not reflect the views of the rest of us on the
Oh, look,
podcast.
we hate Whitey on this podcast. I think we can all admit that.
David's like, I'm allowed to say that.
Has there ever been a white person you liked? Let's be honest.
Haven't met one.
Tony Hawk.
Dude, they named his grandkid's name is Ronan Hawk.
Dude, his grandkids, his grandparents are Tony Hawk and Kurt Cobain. I think I've mentioned it was like the Gohan of white people.
The appointed one.
Yeah.
The golden child.
Yeah, they would have mortals. Me and Kels are like, yeah, we'll get the money, but we'll be a little we can afford to be sly about it now, you know, like, hey, we'll be undercover and fucking Nintendo over.
Well, I mean, like, my whole thing is like, if I'm signing shit, then yeah, probably not, because there's some heinous shit that they can get away with there. But if they're just like, hey, shut this shit down, I'm like, all right, I'll take the money, but I'm gonna go reboot up Citra or some
You
shit.
got
Like,
it.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
totally
pepperoni
not
and cheese
doing this
Citra.
again. Yeah. Like, just go, like you said, there's a fork, so just fork off and get back to work. Like, all right, thanks, Nintendo. I'm gonna go buy my year's worth of ramen noodles and fucking.
And Bell's the kid all of a sudden comes up with a new program the next day.
Right, exactly. It's like, whoa, who's this new cracker on the scene? But yeah, like, what was it, Codex, and what was I forget the other big Denuvo crackers.
Oh yeah,
It's something to say.
Codex was well, here's the thing, is like Denuvo was only recently confirmed to be like actually fucking like crackable,
Yeah,
which was by Empress.
yeah, Empress was the big one that just went MIA. People say that they got sniped by the company.
Well, there's a lot of weird controversy with Empress because there was her and there was someone else that was trans. And it turned into this huge fucking war between her and the trans cracker.
The turf, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is getting into a weird conversation.
It was weird because of course, chronically online people that are pirating video games, they're completely normal people, right?
Dude,
Well, this is the weird thing. This is the weirdest thing when it comes to like folks that are in like the IT sphere. Is you have four categories of people. You have the people that are just in it for the paycheck. Those people usually kind of a little bit more conservative leaning. Literally are just like, there's money in the industry. I'm here to check out. That's what they do.
You got the virgins.
Then you have the people.
I feel like a lot
yes,
of those
you have
people are like the old heads do.
the
yes.
OGs.
Then you have the neurodivergents who are
Yeah.
like, I like this career because it's basically I have to put out 80 fires at the same time, and it's never the same thing at the same time. And then you have like the further like weird parts of it where it's like, then you have the furries. I don't know why, but like IT is one of the careers that
You have to
has like
fund it
the
somehow.
most amount of fucking furries in it. I don't understand what it is
Is that
about.
your
Maybe it's the
category?
neurodivergence part. Huh?
Is that your category?
No, it is not my category.
Which
Dude, I
one's
get too
yours?
hot to be doing that shit. Like my body temperature runs way too hot. Bless them
I
for being
cry
able to do
when
that.
it's above fucking 60 degrees. Like I'm gonna put on a fucking fursuit.
Yeah, like there's like I don't know how they do it, but good for them. That's crazy. I need some fans.
But yeah, so I don't know why, but the furry community huge in the IT industry, and then after that, you have just the weirdest, wildest, unhinged, like fucking doomsday preppers that are like so anti-government, so anti-anything.
You got the libertarians.
Yeah, basically, you have like the most unhinged libertarians that you've ever fucking seen that are just like doomsday larpers, and it's the wildest fucking shit.
Hey,
I
bro,
don't
you
know
ever
what it
listened to
is.
Tim Pool before? Oh God. Like, please get away from me.
But yeah, so I don't know what the fuck it is about my industry that fucking attracts pure. I mean, honestly, for most part, like 3 out of 10 groups are degenerates. But here we are.
Nice.
When the conservatives are the most normal people out of the group.
When the people that are just in it for the money and not the unmedicated folks, because fucking I feel so bad for my boss because he has raging ADHD and we constantly have supply chain issues here, so he's just like, I guess it's just another week without meds, so let's see how this goes. I was like, oh, okay,
Everything's fine.
that's fine. Like basically the entire team has ADD, so
Good for you guys.
Sometimes I want
hell yeah. But yeah, so moral of the story is once again, fuck Nintendo. Genuinely, I probably will end up passing on the Switch 2, at least at launch. I might just only get anything Switch 2 secondhand because I'm so disgusted with Nintendo. I don't know what the fuck has gotten into them, but every so often they kind of get this weird chip on their shoulder where they're like, no, fuck you, we're Nintendo. We can just get away with whatever we want. And unfortunately, the industry lets them get away with whatever they want because they're Nintendo. So yeah, fuck that. Switch 2 and whatever comes out for it, I'll probably only ever be buying used shit for it because I don't ever want to give them money.
That's a man's principle right there.
Look, I am nothing if not a man of principle.
Well, let's quote that and make sure we hold on to that for a little while. Anyway.
Clip that.
Oh yeah. Outback, he asked a good old question. What happened to your boss that was a female version of Adrian? You ever keep up with her?
She ended up leaving the company that I left and working in another one. And last I talked to her, she seemed to be doing her best.
An alternate world, that was my future wife.
It's true. You two would have gotten along very well.
I don't know if we would have got along very well. It would have been probably organized chaos, though.
Yes.
But hey, sometimes we need that in our life, you know?
Every so often, I still think about the people I worked with at that job, and then I'm glad I'm not there. Even though that was a good chunk of, it was a decent chunk of money. It was not a place I liked working at. And then I worked at a place I fucking hated, but got real money at. And every day I missed that paycheck.
Hey, dude. Go back to those Blue Rubies of the Wild where David just had about a couple $100 worth of things just every week just to...
Yeah, back in the day when I was making a 6-figure salary and just dropping $1,000 a month on random shit.
And that's a life right there.
Yeah, even Outback remembers David was loaded back in 2022. David was indeed loaded back in 2022.
Was that when it was? 2022?
Yeah. Shout out to Outback for fucking remembering that.
David, well, you're trying to forget that. That's why you don't want to remember those days.
No, I don't want to remember the money I'm not making anymore. I went from 6 figures to quite not 6 figures.
Unfortunate. Those collections were huge. Anyway, what else do we have?
That was all of the main news that we have.
Main news. What's going on?
Main news.
Now, time for the side news.
Have you ever been to Auburn Mall, David?
I have indeed been many a times to the Auburn Mall because that is where the shitty game store lives. That I go ahead and trade in all the shit quality games to.
Shitty as in like they don't give you that much money anyway?
Yes, that's the one that I've talked about where like they'll charge completed box prices for fucking loose damaged games and shit.
Interesting.
Gross.
I saw a video.
So because of that, every time I get a stockpile of loose games, I go and I trade into them. So they're where I dump all my loose games.
You're contributing to the problem.
Yeah.
And they're just charging full closed in box.
I mean, that's how GameStop is still. Like, isn't GameStop still like that, where they don't really differentiate between you trading in just a disc or the full game?
Well, I mean,
No, although, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't, but also shout out to them. So they've started taking retro inventory again at a lot of the GameStops. I've been seeing some people get amazing deals because they do have a price cap on what they can charge. Although it does seem like with this latest round, they've increased that cap. So it used to be that $100 was their cap, but now 120 is their cap. But I've still been seeing some people walk away with, I think there was one thread I saw where some dude did walk away with Rule of Rose for 120 from a GameStop.
Also, be careful with cartridge games. They don't check if they're fake or not.
They do not check for that at all, which is disgusting.
These retro stories have been also could just be just a few 360 games I've seen. I saw a video last night. I asked them all a question, David, because I saw a video. This guy just kind of goes to random places. It's just like the last. I think it might be the same guy. I wonder if it is. But like those like go to the last Kmart in the continental U.S. and stuff like that. But someone likes to hit up a lot of the malls, and I said his like favorite one's actually the Auburn Mall because of how it has not changed at all. It looks like it's straight up from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it still looks and it's still designed the same way it was when I was a kid.
They've not updated it. It's
Um,
like it's still got like the neon letterings and stuff like that, and like
Yep.
the almost like the when you imagine like 90s font, you know, where it looks all like colorful and stuff like that, like it still looks like that.
The only thing that's missing from my childhood is the Dream Machine. If they still had that there, it'd basically be the same. Um, but yeah, no, it's sad. There's a lot of like weird conversations that go on locally in Maine about the owner of that, because the mall doesn't make much money. But the owner doesn't want it to because he gets like different tax breaks for not having it be too successful.
Yup.
Interesting.
So he keeps it just successful enough that there's enough business going through it for it to not be shut down, but doesn't want it to be like, honestly, if you go in there, half of the mall is just storage for like movie props and shit.
Yeah, I watched that video and it did like there were like a lot of stores that just had like random arcade machines and stuff in it they're not definitely not stores, but they just looked like they were just closed.
Yeah, no, they're definitely just storage. There's all kinds of ones that like sometimes he'll have like old cars in storage in there. Sometimes it's like carousel rides and shit like that. It's weird the insane random things that get used for storage in there.
Fascinating. It's so weird how you're just like, yeah, I don't want it to be too well because I'll get tax money off of this, which that's so weird.
That's how rich people think, dog.
It's true.
That's why I'm not rich. I just think
Yeah,
I want
also-
everything to do well.
Also, at back, you mentioned this. This was in the things I revealed. It is Yuri from the original Dirty Pair series. Trying to get a good. Yeah, I mean, looks fine there. But yeah, no, there's a lot of weird shit like that in Maine. Real quick in the chat, the Auburn Mall has not changed much in 35 years. Just no stores and storage for the Harley dealership owner. Yeah, that's another thing too. That gets used quite heavily for that too.
Interesting. Also,
so
just weird to
weird.
have a call out in the chat about the Auburn Mall. out of
Yeah, what the
nowhere.
fuck? Like y'all are talking about. I'm like, where the fuck is the
Yeah,
Auburn
we're
Mall?
all- it's in Auburn.
It's in
Maine.
Auburn.
Kel just
I
feels
didn't
all left
realize
out. I was like,
there
the
was an
chat's
Auburn
talking
fan.
about it. You guys talking about it? The fuck?
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking liminal space by what I'm hearing.
It kind of,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
unironically,
far off.
yeah, it kind of is.
Like
Um,
the architecture is physically still the same. They haven't really renovated it again
sounds
since I was a
bad.
fucking kid.
like it's still got like all
Uh,
like I'm talking like think of like well, what's the it's
Let me
that
put it this way.
it's that
You know the intro to the Wonder Woman movie at the mall?
you know that the quote unquote aesthetic, you know, where it's got like those like the squares and circles and cylinders
Yes.
like out there. It's got like
Yeah,
those kind
yes.
of style just like everywhere still. It's got like these
It's
weird lights
still-
hanging up
it-
there still and
Yes, you can actually still see like the
Yeah, it's like
shadow
shit, that's dope.
imprints from the original like 80s McDonald's sign that used to be where the McDonald's in the mall was, and just kind of has the sad like fucking sandwich shop that has replaced it since.
it's
Sign kind of lazily over that.
and you could tell it's
The
original
bar was
because
covering it.
JCPenney was an anchor store for it, and it's still there.
Yes, and still
And it still has like, and it's, you could tell like that sign where it was pointing to where JCPenney was is still like untouched since it was made.
yep.
It's so funny.
It's fucking. I mean, that's unfortunately Maine in a nutshell. But
Speaking of that, would go back to the Kmart thing. There was that one Kmart. I think it was like in Florida or New Hampshire. So it was so opposite ways. I don't know. I remember this in Florida for something, but no. Florida was like a CVS style Kmart, which doesn't count. I want to say it's like New Jersey, New Hampshire, something with new in it. I don't know. But it's this Kmart. It still has blue light specials in it.
Oh.
But like it's got overstock of everything just to fill out the store, which makes it look extremely liminal like liminal space because like it's like it definitely has way too much stuff of what would not sell. And the guys like mentioned that a lot, where it's like you'll see like 30 of this specific grill like all taking up like this whole like half aisle spot,
What the fuck?
And like the prices are really expensive too. It's like I was like, dude, I saw this exact thing in a bigger pack at Walmart for less money.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the blue light special, like in hospitals, a code blue is like whenever someone needs resuscitation.
Their brains just let's go.
Yeah. We gotta go. We gotta get there. Yeah, it's fucking. I remember when that was a big thing. Like, there's like lights and sirens and shit that would go off that they had set up like above like the table.
We
like,
see
kneecap.
people, we want to be like boomers about it, but people have brain rot in other ways, dude. Just imagine going to the store and just like, oh my god, it's going off. Let's go.
Yeah, the deals they're activated.
Yeah.
I mean, our brain rot is a lot different. I mean, I'm sure if I say shoop the whoop, that definitely brings back some fucking memories.
Yeah. Well, hey, everyone has brain rot, just in different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I love those channels because it's just I get so fascinated just looking at people go through these really weird spots and I'm like, oh, I didn't know there were any more of those anymore, and here it is, like me and Blockbuster, just like fantastic. This is interesting.
Yeah, I've weirdly been actually getting recommended like a lot of videos in Maine. Like there was actually it may have even been the same video you were just talking about of a guy talking about the Auburn Mall, and there was one of this dude who was doing like food challenges, and there was like a food challenge in Bath he took, and I was like, oh fuck, I know that restaurant. Shit, I don't like that. I don't like that I know the things that are being discussed here.
Oh well, see, you have that experience with that, whereas I watch a lot of those also like the cop videos where it's like, here's this fucking weirdo that was doing this, and I swear to God, so many times I recognize I'm like, I know those exact crossroads.
Right.
I know that one. Hey, here's a pedophile that was hiding a guy, a kid in the truck, and I'm like looking at it, and they don't say where it is. I'm like, yeah, I know where that is.
No, luckily there's not usually a lot of like super. I mean, aside from recent years, super heinous shit like that we see here. Like the biggest thing for us was definitely like the Elon School back in the '70s, which that's fucking a wild trip if anyone wants to go down a rabbit hole. Nexpo, I think, did a video on that. That was really good.
What was it again?
I think it was like the Elon School.
Yeah.
The kind of children's behavioral school that was here in Maine.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, Small Town Murders, of course, has had a few episodes in Maine. I'm still trying to go through that backlog of those fucking episodes.
Dude, one of my favorite moments was me and the girlfriend were watching one of those police videos, right? And like, this guy pulled off of a grocery store and he was leaving this place and he was driving and both of us are like looking at it and it's like we both know it's here and we're looking at each other and we're both like have that look where we haven't said anything yet but we like know, and then once the video stopped we look at each other like, hold on a second, and we play back to the video. It's like, that's not a grocery store, that's a sex shop. I know that fucking place. I've seen that place. That's a fucking grocery store. Homie was pulling out of a sex shop before he got chased by a car.
Yeah, that's super frustrating because with Maine, usually anytime they're like, oh yeah, we're in fucking Maine, it's like, no, you're filming in Canada. Stop it.
Oh, that's so funny because the long walk right now is getting shot in Canada right now.
Everything that's like, oh, it's set in Maine, fucking gets filmed in Canada. And it's the fucking dumbest shit. Because like, yeah, we're just bebopping around Portland. It's like, that's not at all what fucking Portland looks like. Fuck off.
That's really funny because yeah, there's shots and they're all coming up and they're all in Maine or they're all in Canada right now. So funny.
Fucking ridiculous.
I think The Boys shoots in Toronto as well.
Interesting. Which superhero
yeah,
is
like
now
Canada,
getting
Georgia, and Florida? I think like the three big places just because of all. Oh, and New Zealand, just because of all the fucking tax breaks.
No,
and
New
shit.
Mexico's huge.
Oh, and I forgot about New Mexico.
New
Yeah,
Mexico's fucking huge. We're everything's getting expensive all up in here because of the. Everyone's like, all right, fuck it, let's move out there. We're like, no, don't. It's what it used to be.
We have a local economy to think of.
We are the carjacking capital of the country. Don't come here.
I
Scaring
still
white
like,
people away.
I still love you fucking roll up on here and you're like, I'm gonna fucking lock my steering wheel.
Yeah, like I do it everywhere. Fuck you, catch me
Fucking
sleeping.
wild.
No, I'm not gonna slip on that, dude. That's why I do. Whenever I go anywhere else, no one's taking my shit. Fuck that.
Man's gonna come up for my official wedding one day. He's gonna be the only car in the fucking parking area that's just got a lock on it.
Yeah,
Everyone's gonna
Man,
wonder
that's
who this fucking
LoJack.
weirdo is.
If I drive up there, that is. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. But
Sure, you
straight
might just
road.
fly up.
Damn, straight there. For here, like if you have a specific type of car, like you will not be insured
Mm,
because there is
that's
a
fascinating.
there is a specific type of car that is very easily stolen, and insurance companies will just not not insure you here.
Also, on that side tangent, I'm gonna go on a side tangent regardless, anyways. Fucking, I'm so sick of goddamn Canada. Hilariously, is trying to ban.
I'm so fucking sick of Canada.
I am pretty
Fuck you,
fucking
Canada.
sick of Canada. But it's one of those things that they're trying to ban Flipper Zeros there and in a few other places. The problem is not the Flipper Zero. If your shit can be taken over by a Flipper Zero, the problem is your shit that it's able to take over.
What's the matter? Are they upset that people are changing the TVs at the local sports bar?
Exactly.
Oh wow, they're
also-
popping open the fucking fueling station on the Tesla. Woo.
Yeah. So, fucking Christ. That's not the problem.
Oh no.
I'm back in. Abaki with the real questions in the chat. Who would be my best man? Unironically, I've put a lot of thought into that over the years. And I'm not just saying this because we're live on air right now, but unironically, Adrian would be a top contender for that.
It was
It'd
gonna be
basically be
Gore
too-
because it would have been really funny to have him do like
It
a
would have
live
been Gore for the
reaction.
joke because I commit to bits when I fucking do a bit. But seeing as he is dead to us right now, because of his own choosing, unironically, it would be.
No. He's alive and well, and he's still in the running.
He's alive
I'm
and
calling
well to
it-
us when he shows up again.
I'm calling
No.
him now. I'm calling him now. He's in the running. Well, we will have a live debate to see who takes the best man.
The real debates of 2024 people want to see Adrian versus Gore on who's going to be my best man. But no, unironically, it would be between Adrian and another buddy of mine I've known since I was a teen. But yeah, no, that's just how that would fucking break down. Also, speaking of Canada, I was in Calgary last week. Beautiful place. Fuck Canada.
Yeah,
he
Wayne
also
Gretzky's a bitch.
David, who's going to blow you before the wedding, Kells or Adrian?
We take turns.
Why not at the same time? One
Yeah.
mouth per ball. It's simple.
One mouth per ball.
Like this isn't Dodging on. I have both of them.
So, I don't know. It just depends on what kind of bit you'd want. Like if you're looking for a certain kind of bit at your wedding, like if you want to have like Subway Surfers playing while I'm talking, like we can make that happen.
Hell yeah.
We can
Fucking kinetic sand in the bottom corner.
have GTA like yeah, we'll figure something out. But I don't know.
Will this be premium content? I don't know. We
Well-
did joke about potentially live streaming it, so
we live stream your wedding, wouldn't we?
you can make it a Blue Rupee special. The wedding.
Are you committing to a bit like I would, where I really want to get dad at my wedding?
Fuck, I would love to fucking get dad at my wedding. It'd be the only dad I'd have there.
You know what? If you sent him that email and just said that, then I'm sure you'd get him in a heartbeat.
He seems like such a genuine person. No, it's kind of one of those things. We've still talked a lot about like what that would even look like. And there's like 5 different ideas. And unfortunately, we just found out like Thursday of last week that my partner's cousin, who we went down to go see Howl's Moving Castle in theaters with them because of that limited run that's going on. They actually just were like, hey, Our fiance and I are getting married, and they stole one of our ideas, which is to do a kind of masquerade for it. It's like, fuck. I guess it's out of the fucking cards now. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the part of the reason why it's taken so long for like an official kind of wedding. Is just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Also, coordinating people is the worst fucking thing in existence. I work on a 5-person team at my job. I don't even like coordinating the 2 people below me, let alone fucking coordinating like the 100+ people we would need for our fucking wedding.
I forget her name. Tomlinson. That's her last name. But it's the girl that's taking over the night show. She's the comedian.
Oh, Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah, she's really funny. She had a stand-up bit that popped up on my YouTube Shorts where it was some whole bit about this girl like saying I love you with this guy. It was whatever kind of bit. It's like, all right, yeah, it was funny. But the funnier part happened where she's like, wait, are you with your friends right now? And she's like, yeah. And then she was trying to cover her eyes. She's like, all right, wait, hold on. And there were 7 of them. She's like, what the fuck? You have 7 fucking friends? Wait, how old are you? 28. You got 7 fucking friends to all. Is it your birthday? No. What the fuck? You got 7 people to coordinate to show up on one singular night for just this? What the fuck? So yeah, 100%. 100%. Never happens. What other news we got?
Was there any other?
Yeah, don't.
I mean, there probably was. I mean,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
been a long fucking 2 weeks. Let me do a quick
Twitter chat.
Google search here. I don't know why I keep calling it fucking Google search when I don't use Google.
I bet you that one Blue Ruby special on your wedding. We'll sell merch.
We'll sell hats. Why not?
We should sell hats.
And cod pieces. Hats and cod pieces.
We'll make it line up so it lands on Blue Ruby's episode 400.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, I think we had that speculation with Mahershala Ali followed Jordan Peele on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I said that
Little minor news.
Best move would have been if he said fuck Marvel and just did whatever Jordan Peele was doing next.
It'd be so funny if it was like something like almost identical to Blade, just kind of like off-brand Blade.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Apparently one of the major developers on Bloodstained 2 stepped away from the project.
Oh, I didn't even know they were doing 2. That's cool.
That's upsetting. I mean, kudos to that fucking team. Bloodstained 1 is still getting fucking new content to this day. That's fucking wild and cool to see. Oh, Sims. We didn't talk about the weird shit that EA was going on with Sims there.
We didn't. I remember specifically talking about that.
Yeah. Okay.
There was that. What was that one game engine that said like woke engine or something like that lost like all of its people now?
The fuck, crack? Are you smoking?
Oh, Godot?
Yeah. Did you hear about that, David?
No.
So people were saying, because you're on Twitter, which is, if you take things on Twitter too seriously, you're gonna go crazy. That's why it's fun to fuck with people. But they were saying like.
Yeah, they made a post like talking about they're like trying to put forth like LGBTQ plus and women creators, and like a bunch of people like of course got mad about it. They're like, you're talking about this, you could be fixing this issue that I filed a report on a week ago. And it's like, all right, dude, this is a social media post for, I'm sure we can just.
Can I just say real quick? I need to point out the irony that the person who caused all this backlash, his name was Xanax.
Yeah, Xanax or whatever.
Yeah, fucking shouts to Xanax.
So
fucking crazy.
They said like, all right, hey, well, apparently we're woke dot or something. Everyone come in here say this, and like, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently game engines are woke now. Well, then we won't complain. Rainbow emojis, show us your woke got games below.
And then,
how about you woke these nuts?
Yeah. Unfortunately, after that, a lot of blocking ensued by the the engine people, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So they lost a lot of money because
I
they
mean, it's an
started
open
blocking
source
their own
project, so
customers.
that's fine. I mean, they're more than allowed to. I mean,
They
if
are.
these people are being shitheads about it,
They
then
are.
go
It's
ahead.
just it's a matter of the whole thing of like watch. We I don't know, dude. There was that whole thing. Me and Kels were talking with this one guy, which is so funny. But I mentioned the beginning because he was like, "Oh, I forget what the whole thing even started as, but it was like something woke," and I'm like, it was Ubisoft, right? He just
Yeah.
hearing so much about Ubisoft, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, literally no one gives a shit. Like, oh, but she is going down in this and that. I'm like, yeah, but no normal person do. No, a lot of people do. I was like, go on a first date and talk about what you care about right now and see how that works out. And they said, "Oh, you see, apparently you're not dating a normal woman if they don't care about that." I'm like, "Good luck on your first date."
Yeah.
Yeah. The truly no one that is. You have to be
no
terminally
one,
online to fucking care.
no one gives like it's fantastic if you really deep down inside that care, hold on to it. That's fine. But if you are spouting it out online to avoid, you're weird.
Truly, I mean, if you deep down care that much, fucking touch grass, get a real fucking hobby. But here's the real fucking question again. At Backy asking the important questions in the chat. Who was the most woke amongst us?
Among Us.
Amogus.
I mean, I think by virtue of me being the only non-minority, it's not me. So.
Wow, the white man taking a step back.
I don't know, man. Like I liked the human answer of that is we've grown into like some of our humor that was funny back then just not necessarily funny now. Like I'm very
Yeah, I'm not
open.
that too into Daniel Tosh's stuff anymore. It's kind of juvenile.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I feel like I'm pretty open and forward thinking a lot of things, but like you catch me still like making some wild joke every now and then, which is just because like you can still laugh at shit like that. Like
Yeah, you should have heard the Adolf Hitler one.
yeah, that Hitler thing that
Yeah.
happened.
People should have been here earlier. We were debating how long it takes before the Hitler stash comes back in style.
Whenever the Hitler thing passes. But yeah, I don't know. I think we should be able to laugh at a lot of things, but I think also we should keep mindful. I feel like that's the most rational answer we can have, but I don't know. I wonder sometimes when I look at people on either side, I'm like, how do you get to that point? How do you just feel like that unhinged? But
I just think it's so funny when these fucking turds are like, "Well, I'm not supporting you any longer." It's like, all right, bye. I seriously doubt these people care. Like, you're the only one that cares here. You and your little group of confidants.
it's just digital Karen vibes.
Yep, it 100% is. And how many times are they like actually like?
They don't actually buy the
supporting
product. They just want to get mad.
Right. Exactly.
And they weren't going to either. That's always the fun thing is they're never going to buy it to begin with.
Yep.
Also, shouts to PlayStation Lover. I love this podcast because it helps me sleep. I'm glad our three grating voices shouting at each other helps you lullaby to sleep. Also, at Backy again with the hard hitting journalism here. Who was the most based?
Dude, I'm totally gonna go off track because I'm remember something. Speaking of loud voices, I've had the students because I had to deviate because of the whole editing thing where it's like, yeah, we can't edit video, so I got to figure out something. And then meanwhile, I'm like, all right, edit on Audacity for audio because it's like it's something in a semblance of video. Like it's not video editing, but it's like in the realm of like half a step towards that. That was the best I can come up with, and I felt kind of like all right with it. But like they're messing around. It gives me early flashbacks, just like audio editing way back in the olden days. But they'll edit with the amplify, and like they'll amplify way too much, where it's literally just a blue bar. It's like there's no audio, whatever you want to call it. It's literally a blue bar, and I'm like, what was it? I was like, do not put headphones on and do not play that. Hit undo because it will hurt your ears. And they're like, and they thought I was kidding. I was like, no, it will actively hurt your ears. Like, has it ever happened to you? And if anyone out there in this void I'm about to speak into is an old school Mega 64 fan. We're talking. This story happened when I was in high school, where uh, I would stay up late. I wasn't supposed to have the computer out late, but whatever. I would stay up late. Because I'm a little rebel like that sometimes, and I would always download the Mega 64 podcast to put on my iPod Shuffle, and that shit would drop at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I would hustle that real quick. Podcast 22. If you ever want to hear like the most old school thing there, Podcast 22. It starts off. The audio is fucked, like absolutely atrociously fucked, and it starts off with one of them saying, "This tonight on this podcast, you might experience some audio." I forget what the exact was, but he's like giving a warning at that. But like, I forget how early, and it's like within the first 20 minutes, like I'd say like 8 minute mark. I want to say that for some reason the 8 minute mark is speaking to me right now, and he's just like, oh yeah, oh is it because it's like the audio pops a lot. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they're like, hey, do you want to take this podcast, kick it up a notch? And one of the guys just gets in the mic and just screams like right into the mic, and that shit fucking hurt. Like,
Jesus
like
Christ.
it was like that, and he did it really quick again later on. I had to hold the fucking the earpods like this the rest of the fucking podcast. And next episode, they got emails in about how it like bursted the stereo speakers on some people and stuff like that. Like it. I give them a bridge story where I'm like, yeah, podcasts do way back in the day fucked everything. So please undo that and do not listen to that. For the love of your ears, do not do that. But it's also so funny because I'll walk around and I'll hear they'll mess with the pitch and they'll just spin something up so you just hear like a fucking turkey noise come out of one of them. It's so funny. I love audio editing. It's so fun, but deep like in-depth audio editing, I don't know how to do any of that. I couldn't tell you a lot, but the basic
Audio
stuff,
mixing is the devil, and I hate it.
yeah, like the basic stuff is fun. But yeah, it's fun seeing them do that. But man, just see I got like PTSD for a second. Like I was want to like just tackle someone like don't listen to that because you see a giant blue bar on Audacity, you know that shit's about to be the loudest thing you ever heard. Don't do that. Do not do that.
We still need to answer the question: who is the most based?
Cal, how many instruments you play?
Actively, none.
How many can you play?
I can play drums.
That's pretty based. David,
Bass
I used to
drum.
play drums in high school as well.
if you guys had a drum off right now, who do you think would win?
It's been a few years, so I'll pass it over.
I'm gonna naturally say Kel's probably is better at keeping a rhythm than I am. So
I'm gonna give it to Cal then.
Humble Kings.
well, I mean, here's the thing: you're a graphic designer, so I imagine you have a steadier hand than I do. So
I'll take it.
But if bass means getting drunk, then that's David.
I mean, if it's just alcohol drinking, period, yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty bass. You're getting drunk all the time.
it's true. Shout out to last episode when I drank nothing but water.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I just had my little water bottle
because you
the
were
whole
sick,
time.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a responsible boy with my drinking. I basically only drink on the podcast, and like every other week when I hang out with my friends to watch movies.
David needs a drink to socialize, essentially.
Just cry.
That's actually entirely accurate.
Cal's laughed and took it back immediately. He's like, oh. I think that's it, boys.
Hell yeah.
I think we did it.
And you know what? We have an important record we need to talk about. Do you guys know what record we have achieved during this episode?
What's that?
Adrian, do you have a guess?
No.
I want the whole episode without having to piss.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
I was thinking that too.
I'm actually impressed. Is that intentional?
No, I just haven't had a piss. And I have been drinking the whole time, including a little bit of water as well. But
You
yeah,
need to take the
went the
fast
whole
piss as soon as this
podcast
thing
without
ends.
having to pee.
Yeah, last time you had like a solid 2 or 3 of them too.
Yeah.
Jesus. I guess I couldn't tell though, because maybe you walked off when I was feeding the cat, so maybe
No, I did
Oh,
not.
shit.
did a little Sonic.
Kels
Sonic
can
run.
confirm. I
Yep,
haven't
you
gone
walked
anywhere.
in.
Wow.
Also, because I am a man of the people, it says so on my name tag at work. Because I don't care about having my actual job title at work. At Backy's request, you're gonna get both a dab and a fuck the police.
Hell yeah. Good shit. All right. On that note, before you do have to piss, thanks for watching the Blue Ridge Podcast. We'll be back next week with, I don't know, whatever happens.
Probably more video games and movies and other dumb shit no one else but us cares about.
Yep.
The hardcover for
My nuts.
for
Ooh.
the Play Nice comes out next week, so sometime later we'll get this going.
I wish they had a paperback option. I don't want to drop $30 on a fucking book right now.
Ebooks.
Surely there'll be one. Yeah.
I don't want to buy an ebook.
Well,
I only buy ebooks when it's like a fucking bundle of 80 of them on fucking Humble Bundle.
Right.